And we on.
What up? What up? Welcome back. Welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P. Over here, real.
It's Q.
And we back. That one kind of fucked me up a little
Yeah,
bit.
y'all threw me. Yeah,
That one kind of fucked me up.
in different seats, man.
We just switched it up for him a little bit. We just switched it up for him a little bit. But before we get any further, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. If you could, please hit the notification button in the corner, subscribe, like this video, comment. Please tap in with us. We're gonna be here for a little while, chopping it up with y'all. Follow us at the To Be Fair Show. We on Facebook, we on Instagram, we on TikTok, and we on Threads. It's the To Be Fair Show.
Yeah.
And with no further ado, we're going to go ahead and hop into some memes.
Do we want to hit? I think we might have a couple sent in from audience. Do we want to hit those first, or do we want to rock paper scissors and get this order popping?
Let's hit them first.
Okay. It looked like we got a T-Free one up there. Looked like we got a Mama Sharon one up there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I think we've seen some of these.
I think that's the one we did last week.
Yeah.
For free.
I think that one just got sent in. Whatever the say cheese.
Say cheese.
Let's talk about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Raul Rodriguez caption on Odell Beckham goes viral on social media. Took her shopping the next day. I brought her more like Odell Beckham.
Do you understand that, Johnny? You watch football more than me.
He said,
I bought her more like Odell. Took her shopping the next day. I bought her more like Odell.
Baltimore like Odell Beckham. Yeah.
That's actually
Rollo and no cap.
That's not.
Got the illest.
Yeah.
Rollo and no, they got the illest word plays out there right now. Him and no cap for Baltimore like. Okay,
I'll actually get that. That gets it says fire or trash. I'm gonna get that.
That's fire. Rollo.
And
he don't sound smart, but this nigga got to read a lot the way he put words together.
Yeah,
he got to read a lot the way he be putting them, the way he put words together.
Danny, why is your Barbie dolls in here?
I wasn't trying to do that. It just started playing by itself now. Okay.
All right. Let's
Okay. Well, it don't want to play anything, so we'll just play it from here.
Sound good to me.
Thing for Christmas, you ain't put your feet on the floor since. Get off that thing and put it on the charger somewhere. Walk in here. Don't ride that in here no more.
What
Give her shit. That's not what you said you wanted for Christmas, so that's not what you got. Give her stuff. If I have to come in there, I'm gonna tell both of y'all asses up. I'm gonna throw everything away. How about that? Told y'all to be dressed an hour ago. All them damn clothes y'all got yesterday for Christmas, and you talking about you ain't got nothing to wear. Babe, listen, don't play with me. Don't start no shit. Won't be no shit. Go in there and get dressed. I didn't buy Crocs for Christmas. I brought Ugg boots. Put your Ugg boots on. If you come out that room in Crocs, I'ma crock your ass. Listen, I don't want to hear nothing about no damn batteries. No, I didn't buy batteries. Call your daddy. Tell him buy your batteries. He ain't buy you shit else. I bought all the toys. Call your daddy. Ask him, can he buy the batteries? Shit.
How y'all feel about that?
Oh, there's probably a lot of that going on this week.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably a whole lot of that going on this week for sure.
We definitely heard it when we was young. Anyway, it sounded like my mom.
Yeah, if you replace Christmas, because we didn't explicitly celebrate Christmas with a bunch of like any other time you got any other thing. Yeah, it was too many of those words and sayings that I heard my mother regurgitate for sure. Hey, actually, could you go to the comedian kid? I mean, he's not a kid. He's actually an old man right there. Right here, okay. Yeah, because I had two people sent my Unc sent me that he was having trouble getting the memes over to the show. So he sent that to me, and I told him to send it. But it's
religion has convinced people that there's an invisible man living in the sky who watches everything you do every minute of every day. And the invisible man has a list of 10 specific things he doesn't want you to do. And if you do any of these things, he will send you to a special place of burning and fire and smoke and torture and anguish for you to live forever and suffer and burn and scream until the end of time. But he loves you. He loves you. He loves you, and he needs money. He always needs money. He's all powerful, all present, all knowing, and all wise. Just can't handle money. Religion takes in billions and billions of dollars. They pay no taxes, and somehow they always need money. You talk about a good bullshit story. If I may be permitted a small pun, holy shit.
Yikes. I guess there's two to it. I think that one we should react to, I guess, is that if we have commentary. But I do think that unless somebody else has sent in a TD Jakes meme, we use this as a bit of like to touch back on that conversation a little bit.
Yeah, I think we can do it. I think we should do kind of separate because I don't know. I don't have enough information as to what I just heard something about a Diddy party.
All right, so
that's all I know about.
Well, yeah, I mean, so let's react to this first, and then we'll get into that. I know Tone wanted to touch back on that as well. So yeah, I don't know. I'll toss it up to y'all guys and see react.
Well, he was first talking about the because that's the classic criticism, like to me, on religion. It's not necessarily on God. He's talking about, especially when he's talking about the money part. That's more of a criticism on religion, not necessarily God. Because I do believe in a higher.
What's his name? Carl.
I forgot.
I forget his name.
Young.
Nah, he's not Carl Young. Carl Young is a psychologist.
It might be longer. I can't remember.
But nonetheless, like he does a lot of comedy that dives into like very deep perspectives on religion and actually, there you go. That's exactly what it is.
I actually think he's a funny comedian.
Yeah, he's really smart. Whether you agree or disagree, like he makes funny, interesting points in my opinion. But yeah, my bad. I ain't mean to cut you off.
Nah, but yeah, so because I do believe there's a God or a higher being, or there's something bigger than us. It's not just, so I we don't got to get all the way into my beliefs on that, but the beginning of that, it reminded me, and I was trying to look it up. I can't remember that movie. I think it had Jim Carrey in it, where he was in the TV show.
Oh, you talking about Truman Show?
Truman Show, where like everybody was like watching, and the world was basically a set, and so when he was first doing it, it kind of reminded me of that, and I could see why there would be criticism, because of that's kind of the way religion sets up God, or sets up what God is. It's basically he's looking down on us, judging all our every moves, and I don't necessarily think that's how it works. But yeah.
So all right, so you, from last week to this week, you decided not to be Christian. That's what that sounds like.
I ain't go to church this week.
You can skip a Sunday and throw the whole joint out.
Sorry, did you have any explicit?
Oh no, to me, it was just comedy.
Good comedy.
Yeah, it was just good comedy to me. Like I thought it was funny.
Tone.
I thought it was good comedy. Like it was funny, but at the same time, also going off of what I believe in, like I thought he was saying some. I think like what he was saying is wrong. Like if you actually read the Bible, everything he was saying is wrong. It wasn't true. And it's a lot of people that believe that that's the case though, and that's what the Bible say. And yeah, it ain't about that. That's my whole thing. So it's like while it was a joke, at the same time, it's a thing where there's a lack of believers representing what the Bible is supposed to is what the Bible is saying. I put it like that. I think the reason that people take it so much as a joke is because there's a lack of believers actually representing what the book says or doing what they're supposed to do as Christians. So you're able to make jokes like that when people not able, like basically what I'm saying is people need to see people live in the life. If they want people to believe in Jesus, they need to see people actually live in the life that it reflects.
And to me, I think and that, like I said, it's just a joke, but now I guess we're taking it a step in a more serious direction. My quick little piece is that, like, from what I have looked at versus what I was told was in the Bible, I think that's the biggest thing. We're just regurgitating things that we heard so long, and we're just carrying these quote unquote Bible verses and these different ideas. They ain't even really in there. We just regurgitate these things so long that we just believe that that is what is there. And so the thing is, I understand what you're saying, seeing people living the way, but also like if you're not reading, you can't. How do you criticize a book that you don't read? And like I'm not saying that you like me. I say I haven't done any. You know what I mean? I haven't done a deep dive. But at the end of the day, it's hard to try to have a valid opinion about something that you know nothing of, other than hearsay. To have an actual opinion that's based in any factual, you know what I mean? Some real, you know, the way we do everything. To actually have a basis to stand on, I would say at the very least, you would have to read it yourself. And not just base your opinion on other people's interpretation of what they heard somebody else say, that they heard somebody else say, that somebody may at one point have read. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we might as well just like, to me, that's just what's happening. Yeah. Been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
and I guess, well, I guess if we take where y'all at and push it further, where we speak about, to an extent, like the bastardization of a lot of times the religion, the word, and the prophets, that it people profit in two ways. The prophets that people make from it and what they do with it, and the false prophets, in which a lot of times these mega churches, as we might say, end up having preachers that represent
false guys get you no profit.
TD Jakes. He's been in the news recently. We have the Diddy scandal. I think that they some shorty, she came out and was saying that, yeah, spicy, and it's been like some.
Give me some more. I don't know anything. I just heard about a P Diddy part. I just know that TD.
Well, I think that in general, there's like a compilation. What I seen was a compilation of like preachers, and it's a lady who broke the story. I forget her name.
So they got footage?
No. Well, I guess he has for sure been at Diddy's parties.
But is there footage?
Cassie,
what happened was eyewitness account.
Cassie's phone.
So somebody said,
Well, I think multiple people have said it. It's not like one.
What happened was Cassie released Kim Porter's burner cell phone, and in that cell phone there was some stuff basically insinuating that TD Jakes was
having relations.
Having relations.
But
hold on, you said relations with Diddy?
Yeah, well, that's the biggest part that broke, is that they were saying that TD Jakes was the bottom, and but there's been like a trail of other things that have led to that, where like you had, like I said, I don't remember homegirl name, but she came out and was already accusing or stating the fact that that Diddy and TD Jakes had like a really weird relationship. And TD Jakes be at like the Diddy parties doing whatever. But then there was like clips of multiple preachers speaking about why they don't fuck with TD Jakes, and the fact of like him being, you know what I mean, to an extent, like they just hinted nicely about like him being involved inside like a lot of other things within the entertainment industry. And I think the Kim Porter, that whole thing is the thing that broke the complete ice. Okay. And then you seen all the other trail. I mean, everything around it kind of pretty much the thing that's happened with Diddy, where that the Cassie thing, and then you had everything around it that already existed that kind of like made it make sense. Yeah. And that's the TD Jakes, John.
Hey man, the good bishop said he wasn't gonna dignify y'all's foolishness with a response, though.
As he should have said. I feel like that. That's probably what he supposed to have said.
I have a question for y'all, because like this is something that I kind of been I really stand on, which I do think that it's different when you're sitting there saying that you're leading someone in some kind of spiritual journey. You know what I mean? Then the fact that you don't live the way that you sitting here saying, I think that comes with a different it's a different layer to it. But I strongly believe, and this is something that I run with all the time, if you're waiting for some perfect person to be able to come and teach you about how to be perfect, if you're waiting on that, then you should be shutting up until Jesus get here. Everybody should be shutting up until Jesus get here. No, there's no man without flaw. I'm not condoning the TD Jakes thing. What I'm saying, this is aside from what he's done. I'm saying people sit there and act like that because people are famous or whatever they are, that they're supposed to have the answers. and they just as fucked up as we are. They really just as fucked up as we are. They just got money that can make their financial situation be a better. But then think about this: if a man could get man or woman, if they could get anything that they wanted in the world, what would you think it would be? If you've lived that lifestyle for 20, 30 years, where you could have everything that you ever wanted, there's not a woman or man or whatever that would say no, because you have the finances to back up everything. What do you think they actually like?
Peace.
I think they like shit that we don't know, that we don't even think about. I think it's a lot of negative stuff with, like, I think that's the norm when it comes down to them.
Like, because you can do everything that's on your anything that you want to. If
you don't have to abide by the same rules and laws as regular people. You might not
get caught. Like,
I think that I don't know if y'all are fans of the Hunger Games, but
I like Hunger Games.
The Hunger Games. It was a guy inside one of the seasons that made a statement that that answers that question that you asked. In which he said that when you have all the money in the world, like you pretty much deal within secrets. So like that's the currency in which you trade. In which, I mean, to an extent, it kind of goes to where we're at,
exactly,
right now. But that's kind of what the currency of how richer or the richest people hold leverage in. Because I mean, the reality of life in general is there is pretty much a power game for resources. That's kind of a bit of like the game of life. Whichever level that you're on, that's kind of what it is. And when you're the richest of the richest, that's what it kind of seems like the game is.
Yeah. No, I'd agree 100%. It seemed like all of this, like the Jeffrey Epstein story, and the people that was involved or allegedly involved in that type of stuff, like it's always the super rich people. Like it's the people that can have everything that they want. At some point, it gets beyond like a car or a house or a boat.
Yeah, it's kind of how you can blackmail a nigga.
Yeah, then it becomes like people. Like the most grand thing you can do possibly in their minds is to have someone, to force someone willingly or unwillingly willing to do something that is like completely against the social norms
or against their
against
their will, or like I don't want to do this, but because you're you, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it's like the buck breaking shit. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yep.
All right, so wait, I guess is there any other commentary? I know it sounded like you was kind of saying that we shouldn't put him on too high of a pedestal because he's still human.
Nobody.
Yeah, I agree with that. I actually also there's a thing
so we give
where
him, please, pretty much.
No.
Okay. I don't know. I'm just trying to see what we doing.
I say cancel TD Jakes.
So this the thing.
This is the funny thing. So you would cancel TD Jakes because of him being gay?
It's a joke.
Him being a gay pastor.
He is joking.
I'm just asking, would you?
No, I'm not against. I'm against cancel.
Yeah, he's.
Okay.
He's trying to go on week 4 in a row to dispute cancel.
So we should let TD Jakes live there.
Yes, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, you can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I think your mic just came out, my boy. But to translate what Johnny said, he said, "No, I am a fierce advocate of not canceling anybody that's did anything to anyone, including grapists, including." Marestfirst. What Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying not to say the word.
Hold on. We talking about the bishop. We talking.
Oh no, I was just like translating the fact that you said you're against all of cancel culture.
I'm for separating product and person, the thing that they do, the art that they create, and the person that they are. I can appreciate.
How you feel about them popes that be fondling them boys? You still like?
Should they be canceled?
You still gonna listen to they sermons and stuff like that?
I wouldn't go into their churches to begin with.
No, but speaking principle wise,
I mean something like that. They should just go to jail.
No, but we talking about like
I'm saying they should go to jail.
We're talking
like
about the words that they said. Like you're being slippery.
I'm just saying they should go to jail.
Okay,
I just want that part.
So once they go to jail, we got that part. They in jail. What about all them words they were saying? You fucking with it?
I wasn't listening to that to begin with. But if somebody else can find something,
nigga.
If somebody else can find something in their sermons, they should go listen to it.
Okay, the sermon, you saying that you should.
The word is still the word. The lesson is still the lesson. Nah. Like so.
It depends on
so the man said 2 + 2 is 4, and then he go out and do something to somebody. Is 2 plus 2 still not 4.
And see, that's the thing. That's what I was. That's what I was saying.
But just because, but if he taught, but if he taught you that,
I think that
that's all I'm saying. Like,
right there, but there is a difference between teaching, like, say, a fact, like, say, math. Math is like factual in nature, and then giving like a sermon that is based off experience, words, and feelings and emotions, and like how you put a bunch of things together. I do think that there is a difference between that.
Yeah, so
like if he's only like,
but a good lesson is a good lesson. If
this is what I'm saying. See, this is. Let me give you an example. So if
the false prophet thing means nothing, then
no, see,
I'm just trying to make sure.
It depends on how you. It depends on how you relate to it. If you're actually like being led by this, like you're the sheep and he's the. You know what I mean?
That's what they do in Catholicism with the Pope.
But hold on. So what I'm saying is that if you're living it that way, which that's what I don't believe in holding any man
right
in that regard. So
if you my bad, I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. So like I don't believe in like there's not gonna be a pastor that exists that I'm gonna feel like this man is any different than me. Like there's not no. I wouldn't feel that like the idea of like Jesus talking to you or God talking to you telling me this. I feel like, well, I mean, God can talk to
but
me.
because you think makes it easier not to cancel people too, because you don't put them.
Yeah, you don't pedestalize them. So it makes it easier not to. So my thing, let me just finish real quick. Okay, I got you. So like the idea that I stand on is more like, okay, who's a better person to tell you not to be an alcoholic than an alcoholic? If the thing that is right is still right, regardless of the medium where it comes where it comes from.
I think that's like that example in itself is like it makes sense. But what about somebody that's condemning crime, but all while doing crime? I don't know if like that's the best person.
I still feel like that. You can still do the same thing. Like
but the crime should still be condemned.
Okay, I got you.
So
that's like saying that you have to be illogical to make an illogical decision.
I'm gonna say my opinion on this real quick.
I guess I do want to kind of like dive into like the logic in which you're standing on a little bit. Because I guess to me, if you understand that, I guess maybe the word is that like people are fallible, and if people are fallible, why do you have to be dogmatic to like something this person is saying instead of just like going to the root of what they're saying? Why is what they're saying something that you have to keep going back to instead of like just the important thing? Because of what you're saying is that what any one man is saying is not important enough for like you to put them on any level of a pedestal. So that should mean that whether you have to listen to him or don't have to listen to him, it's more about like literally the fact of what they're saying. So like whether you cancel or don't cancel, it shouldn't matter, but it should make it even easier if this person is fuck shit and like I can easily not deal with fuck shit and still get the important fruit of whatever the good shit is.
No, and I get what you're saying, but the thing is that if the only reason why I feel like it's not worth canceling somebody if I don't hold them to any type of high pedestal. If they're not pedestalized, so you'll keep
listening to somebody that you know is saying.
Listen, what I'm saying is that like so you saying cancel as far as the bare minimum of me just opting out of
that. To me, like that's what like a personal cancel is like when I decide to stop fucking with you.
Yeah, so like I mean it doesn't.
But there's levels because it's different than like canceling a person and not listening and not respecting them anymore versus that man done made a product or like a music or art or something, and then you can still not fuck with them, but there's this thing that they left that is its own entity that's outside of what they have done.
Yeah, if it's inspired and if it's supporting somebody that's using those profits also to do dumb shit that I don't fuck with. Again, like more of that I'm going to like.
But what if that person's in jail now? Then how is it supporting them? If they're paying for paying their debt to society, how is it doing anything?
I don't know if are you talking about R. Kelly or are we?
That's
kind of like the only person that is that specific thing.
Yeah, okay, well then we can go there.
Again, like my personal thing is like I'm good. Like I think that R. Kelly's a genius, and all those good things. I don't have an attachment to any like thing, quote unquote, of this world to where if I don't morally stand with it, that I can just not just walk away from it. Really? And I morally don't stand with it. And it's easy. Like there's so many other great things that I can consume that I'm okay with like not dealing with that if it's not on like a moral ground that I fuck with. That's just me personally.
I think that's you in general. I think that you have a level of detachment that you have that most people don't have. Most you can detach from things. I've seen you walk away from things that I couldn't see, like, you know what I mean, couldn't fathom that being where you would go. But we'll let's continue the conversation in a I guess in a better spot. So like
players gonna play
the like the TDJs, going back to TDJ specifically. Like I don't have, there's not a pastor that I've ever heard speak that I was like, I'm gonna be led by him. Like I'm not looking for a leader.
Yeah, and I guess I also would say that
anyone.
I don't think anybody was actually saying cancel TD Jakes. I think he made a joke about it.
Oh,
and unfortunately, we went down the wormhole that nobody actually was trying to go to.
It was just a joke.
Yeah, but I told Johnny he was going to try and get into cancel culture part 5.
Didn't try.
And yeah, you did.
It's a joke.
He baited us. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good OTD.
Yeah. I guess while we are on the guys of cancel culture, might as well hit Dave Chappelle real quick. Okay. From what y'all seen of the special just dropped. We're recording. We might have like maybe I don't know, an hour or two have had digested what we have seen of some of it. I don't know what y'all think about it.
I think the boy's a genius.
Go.
He is. I love, and like it's almost like a lot of his stuff. It's like it's comedy, it's funny, but I appreciate the storytelling aspect.
Yeah.
Hey, set it up like a lot of comedians.
You can see the art of it. Like he's
long. It's chess to him, where a lot of comedians is checkers.
Facts.
Like to him, you see him doing something, you're like, oh shit, I already know he moved that piece. So 4-5 moves later, he gonna come and he gonna come and hit him with that. And I just love watching this shit develop. It's over its last, I'd say 5-6 stand-ups. I've really noticed that as that part of his comedy.
But if you're gonna kill himself like early on, he's always been that. Like his format is very similar. He's like it's interchanging like the topics and how he gets to whatever point and stuff like that. But
he's getting better because I remember Killing Himself, and it's still a classic. It's still a classic, but these new ones, you can see the maturity.
And I guess I'm only talking about like his style hasn't changed.
Right? Yeah.
He still told the stories and Killing Him Softly with the baby and the light pole and then bringing it all the way.
Zippity doo dah, yeah.
Yeah. Like he, you know what I mean. But I think that what's good about him is that I forget what the term is, but it's like making it layered enough to where it's digestible on a couple fronts. So a lot of people only realize the checkers that he is playing, not realizing that, or they think that he's playing checkers. So he's making like a couple different little low hanging fruit jokes, like say the handicap joke and shit like that. Like he was kind of doing that strategically,
right,
to kind of set up more things. But a lot of people only like, and they'll get some laughs off of that. But for a good consumer of it on a higher level, you're looking at like he is moving the bishop. He is setting up the next move. And that's what I enjoy about it.
He playing this logic card. So wait till he talk about this.
Yeah. And then, what was that story he said about a homegirl, like the trans woman named nigga? But the white liberals were struggling.
If they couldn't talk to her. They didn't know how to talk to her. Or not. What they got me? She said the man attacked her.
So smart, dog.
He attacked her with a knife that identified as a gun.
Yeah. That was a good one too. Yeah.
And I forgot about all those things, but all those things did happen.
And that was this year.
It might have been a year ago.
Okay, I was about to say, damn, that's all that was this year.
The thing that separates, I think, that separates Dave at this point is that he's telling real stories. A lot of comedians, you could tell that this shit is made up. This is just to go along with the thing to get a laugh. But Dave is witty enough to make real life funny. And see, that's the thing. Like his entire thing is now making real life funny. And so that's why the whole idea of trying to cancel him, it's not going to work because everybody else is looking at this thing and sees this thing in, you know what I mean, a similar way, or they still can understand how he's seeing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, what, you gonna just throw a nigga away for telling the truth and talking about the truth? You know what I mean? So that's what makes it super witty. I think Dave definitely is on a different level when it comes down to that comedy.
Was that Will Smith?
Right. Now he got mad at my dog Chris Rock. He said, "This nigga, you ain't make a good joke when you got slapped. What the fuck?
It's my take.
Yeah. 3 months.
Right. Now that was good shit. Hey, audience, look what we just did. We addressed 3 of the things that was in the topic thing. You can't come for us no more.
Oh, they love talking about that too. Yeah. That's on us though. We gotta step that up.
I'm not first 30 minutes.
I hate that clickbait shit, bro. I will need to be them guys. You ever see them guys be like, oh, how to make 100,000 or like any of that stuff, and then you click it and this nigga
first you gotta download MetaTrader.
And then subscribe to my course.
If you subscribe to
Weeble, then pay $50 a month.
2 free stocks. You hear that? 2 free stocks.
Yeah. All right. Is it rock paper scissors?
That was all 2020. Let's get it.
Yeah, it was, bro.
Yeah.
2020 was
got both of them niggas up out of there. Right. I baited them with.
What you bait, nigga?
Yeah, I made y'all.
Hey, I've been on a losing streak. I
made y'all think I was going with paper, and then switch.
All right, Johnny.
Yeah.
This
what 3 in a row, 2 in a row?
It might be. I think that you up in your percentages.
I've been rolling.
You know, you like Memphis since Ja came back.
That's a good. I like that. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll start it off. Let's go. Let's click my man on the left
with the glasses.
No, the right. My bad. Oh shit, I'm fucking up the right. Yeah. The therapy dude, not John Gabbana, the one below him.
Y'all be knowing every
apologize to every woman that I've ever let down. I have apologized to every woman I let down, whether they accepted it or not. You know what I'm saying? But I literally did. You know what I mean? Regardless of their roles and anything, bro, I apologize because I'm responsible. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my actions and what I create.
I went through that same catharsis.
Yeah.
I told you I did a year of celibacy, no masturbation, no release whatsoever.
Wow.
And during that point, like maybe halfway in, I got the same compulsion to reach out to her, whether I could contact them or not. I reached out to as many women that I felt like I had damaged as well, because brothers are being relationships and they may have evolved, but they haven't, made right the energies that they have already put into the grid of feminine energy. And then that leads you to understand that there's 2 different types of compatibilities.
That was dope, though. I actually appreciated that.
Yeah, I threw that in there because when I first.
Oh, you about to hate? Let me go first. Then. No, I actually, I do agree heavily on that. And I think that probably every female that I've talked to, probably in at least like the past 8-9 years, whether there was a space in which maybe one of them I ain't do it. But outside of that, in general, like after the relationship is over, like I learned so much. And truthfully, I think that every relationship I get better at being in relationships. And so like I can reflect, even no matter how much I feel about like what they did and I do call back and like address the things that I felt that I did wrong. And I also ask them, now that we have kind of like the feelings isn't in it, like what would be like some real critiques that you have of me? And I think that's actually like a really, really important and good thing that's helped me grow and become a better partner. And I think that literally where I'm at right now and like how I'm able to communicate, how I'm just in general able to be a what I believe is a decent partner is based off of a lot of those conversations, reflections, and the easiest thing to always do is just to blame the other person. But I think the self-reflection piece, the accountability piece, in which I try and always hang, because I always think that most things are two-sided, and where there's some fault on you and fault on the other person. Sure. And finding where your actual fault is, like that person could be crazy. Is there anything that you was doing also though? Mm-hmm. And I think that for me, I always try and find that. And then I try and sometimes I overcompensate inside my next relationship for it. But in general, it's like these steps that I've been taking through my journey of relationships that I think has led me to be as aware and conscious and the partner that I am now.
And yeah, I'm gonna go before you because you got hate. You sound like you.
Well, Johnny don't get in relationships. That's the problem.
And then, but at the end of the day, I haven't been in a lot of relationships myself.
But you've been in a long one in which you probably like realize there's some
and I'm
accountability.
I agree with what you're saying because at the end of the day, what I've learned in marriage was like blame yourself. Right? Just blame yourself. Don't even worry about because at the end of the day, there's always something that you could have done better. Whether it be your response to what happened, or just your tone, just paying attention. It's always something better that you could have done. You could have made that job. You could have made it easier. And that's the thing is like for me, I call myself a God, little G. And with that being said, I think that what makes me a God is the power to create and manifest situations and scenarios to have results that are in my favor. Off of my will to make it happen.
Rail was outside in 2013.
Oh, that's what I was outside. That's
like how you see how he that was all right.
No, but like I'm being serious. Like as it's even grown,
it's a good joke.
As it's even grown, like it's like not literally. Like I can literally, I do it all the time. I do it all the time. And that's not me trying to manipulate anyone or manipulate anybody. For real. It's really just me wanting the best outcome that I can see for the circumstance in its totality. So a lot of the times that is always adjusting myself. You know what I mean? And I think that will, if you're going to be in a 10-year relationship, that's going to be that'll make it so much easier for you just to understand that like you always did something. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you always did something. Whether it was a reaction to the thing.
Or at least there's a space to reflect on what you could do better. Even if like
you always did something. It's too much time spent with and in the relationship if you're in a real relationship.
Yeah, my bad. I think I'm thinking of something. But I get what you're saying. Like you said, yeah, I get you. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, so I appreciate it. It did, but I will say it seemed like you said a while ago when he said like a year of sustaining from sex and masturbation and all of that.
Oh yeah, I was making just the
joke.
You
just been an asshole. I was about to say.
Also, listen, I ain't interested.
No. I'm not saying that. I take my hat off. I just take my hat off to dudes because I think that's just next level discipline.
Okay.
What it is about discipline.
I
think that discipline is one of those things.
And just be happy with one woman instead of having it like.
I mean, but the thing is, it takes
if I ain't getting for a year,
everybody ain't gonna be able to.
They blocked Pornhub too for North Carolina.
Some people just got worse. Y'all use? I never used Pornhub before.
What do you use?
Now there's a bunch of them. Listen,
my joint is like that. I'm telling you now, it's fine.
I can throw out a couple of good ones. You got like X Videos, a good one. I like X Hamster. I like
X Hamster.
You a wild boy. Yeah, the X Hamster boy. You
must know it.
That's down. That's deep in that rabbit hole.
Right. It do sound like it though.
X Hamsters. Sound like some fetish shit.
Nah. It just give you a different like when you hit Ebony Amateur, you get you different little results. That's all. Like I feel like I'm about to go too deep
my thing
into
is
it.
I feel like the one that I was gonna give is like they're gonna have to sponsor us before I start talking about it. That shit is
low,
like that.
Is low?
Huh?
Yeah, let's not shout. Let's not shout out.
What else? I was about to.
But look, what I was saying was abstaining from sex or
Johnny got 7 lined up. He just being bashful.
Nah, Johnny been single for too long. He got plenty of them jokes in the tuck.
Listen, Johnny said that he a wild tad boy. What he not telling you is that 25 of them 30 tabs is like what he ain't hit yet, but next time want to reload, he getting to.
With my laptop back. He ain't even got to even do that though, because he ain't nobody even in there. You can laptop whatever you want.
Yeah, that's funny.
Nah, that's Johnny. He lived a life of wild single boy for
check
a reason.
my tabs. My shit ain't all that. It might be 1 or 2, but not all 20 of them.
Honesty. There we go. I like it.
Not all 20 of them. But let me because when I first saw this, I was like, yeah, that's good because it is growth is always a positive thing, and niggas should always be evolving, and there definitely should be accountability for the shit that we did in the past and the wrongs we've did, the immaturities that we've had in the past, all that. Yeah, growing up and being, once you get into this, like 30, a lot of these lessons shit come into clear focus. You can see. The only issue I had with this is the going back, and like sometimes it's a slippery slope to me, the going back and apologizing to every woman that you wrong. Sometimes them ladies just need to be left alone. You don't gotta hit up every woman. And
well, I guess I didn't. My bad.
Well, yeah, you ain't, because to me it's like
I took it back. It's like within the right time frame, not literally like, oh, I'm awoken now. Let me go down like my Rolodex and find every single,
because that's toxic.
I think that in general
that can open up a lot of old wounds that don't need to be reopened. And a lot of times the best apology is change behavior. You ain't got to go and try to throw back, oh, look at me, I'm such a better person now.
Johnny, a wild boy.
You don't need to throw that at somebody.
That's kind of what this is actually
exactly saying. What it's saying.
You just need to
like, if you see through the blinds,
you just need to be a better
Johnny's
person.
saying that he fucked over a lot of women and he don't feel like apologizing, so I don't fuck with that.
That's not what I know.
That's exactly explicitly what you're saying. No. If you read between the lines, that's explicitly.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the best apology is change behavior. I wouldn't want somebody who did me shitty to come back to me and be like, oh yeah, I know I did you shitty, but look at me now. I'm so happy and I'm this better person. I'm treating this new person so much better than I treated you. And to me personally, I wouldn't be interested. It's cool you did that, but
I think that it's fair to humanize yourself and admit your faults.
I agree 100%.
And that's just
had something else, bro.
Just had a thought on that, but I ain't gonna be.
This is one of them that, like, as a man, it happened. I was watching there's a series on Netflix. I'm about to sponsor. I'm gonna stop saying folk, specific names, but it's a series that I like on Netflix. It's a guy like cop type joint, and within the series, there was a female officer that was being hazed, and she ended up quitting. She ended up quitting the force, and you know what I mean. Her life went completely different just because of the way that she was being hazed. And I was thinking about, like, in the hood, how many young girls were going through things that dealt with the young men around them that they didn't voice. That how many women and little girls do you think we scarred as young boys?
Probably
growing up. Like, think about the smacking the ass from, like, you know what I mean? All of these different things that we like normalized in the hood.
Wild time. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? That we normalize in the hood, that we don't know what these effects could be down the line or what they are, because we're all adults now.
Yeah.
So, like, that was something that I was sitting there thinking about. I'm like, when he said apologize to all of the women that you ever wronged, bro, at the end of the day, I ain't there's nothing specific that comes to mind. But I just know I was just a flirting young boy, and you know what I mean? We all was like very like sexually interested, but not necessarily
leading females on inside of like toxic, negative ways.
Just extra, bro.
It's like, hey, bro, I was wrong for that.
Yes,
you ain't even got to put like, I'm so much better and I'm treating this person this much. It's like, hey, I was wrong. I could see what you were saying.
Yeah, we was on some fuck shit as young boys, and
I know I wasn't conscious enough. Like, I wasn't aware enough. Like, I probably didn't have a lot of the words to articulate it, and that just is the reality of what it was.
Yeah, agreed. But that was a good one, Johnny. Even though you wanted to shit it on it the whole way.
I ain't shit all the way.
Four corners.
That was not a box. You can't put.
I think those names.
Let me we ain't talking about that. Let me get the white girl. Color purple.
Hi guys, so I wanted to address a sponsored video I recently made for a film, and I am not making this video to justify my stupidity or unprofessionalism. I am making this video to take accountability and responsibility for the content I posted on my platform. Me as a content creator absolutely did not do my job, and my job is to educate myself about the content I post, especially sponsored content I post. In my mind, there is no explanation or justification for being ignorant. The only thing that I feel like it's a right thing to do is to be absolutely embarrassed and take accountability for my ignorance and apologize directly to the Black community for being tone deaf and insensitive. And also to thank everyone for holding me accountable and pointing this out to me, because I'm not the kind of person that will sweep things under the rug. I did not and will not accept any compensation for this content. With this, I just really want you guys to know that I'm deeply embarrassed and disappointed in myself. And I am fully aware that there is absolutely no excuse for it. I wanted to apologize again directly to the Black community and thank you for even listening. Hi guys, to what I have to say. I am definitely thank you to Warner Brothers for sponsoring this video and my crazy ideas. I am of course bored of my hair. So today we're doing a little transformation. I was inspired by the movie The Color Purple, and today I'm going to be giving this wig a purple glow up. The movie follows a girl named Celie who lives in Georgia in the 1900s and follows her transformation into the woman she is destined to be. Also, in case you didn't know, the color purple symbolizes royalty, nobility, wealth, power, and ambition. So honestly, for the end of this year, I'm ready to be purple. I think we could all use some purple. I actually love how this turned out. Experience a heartwarming story with the movie The Color Purple and share your purple transformation this holiday season. Thank you to Warner Brothers for
everybody to do it.
I'm saying, who made her apologize, man?
Well, no, you get why they made her apologize. See why?
That was like, God, dang.
Like obviously, she just read a quick synopsis,
but she
and heard the word purple, and she ran with it. That's like the most tone deaf that you could have. Like,
that's crazy.
If tone deaf was in the dictionary, that probably would be the one. And I ain't a nigga that be just like harping on tone deaf shit. But that one was kind of wild. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But that's beyond extreme, bro. You would have never. She just hooked the left. Soon as she brought the wig out, talking about the color of the wig,
she said it follows a young black woman named Celie from Georgia.
Hey, her evolution and
as a woman,
yeah, bro.
So everybody should put color purple into their hair.
Oh man, that was funny.
And I thought that she was gonna go like, I got this wig and I'm gonna make it nappy, but she went a different route. I'm like, damn,
that was horrible.
Damn,
that was horrible.
What would Harpo say? What you think, Tom? What would Harpo say about that?
Hey, I ain't got nothing on that.
Oh man, that's a funny one.
Okay, all right, come on, Johnny. What else you got for us?
Let me see. Let's lighten it up. Nah.
He don't want to lighten it up.
Give me top middle. Give me top. I think this is a good one too. I think this is a good one too.
I hear a lot that a good woman is going to always be ready sexually for her man. It's always felt like really subservient, like energetic slavery. My wife, Candace, is 34. That 34-year-old version is not always present. It may not be conducive to try to engage them in a sexual way. It can come across like sexual abuse in ways they're not even aware of, even if they consent. And me and my wife just did a Houston vibe night. We was extremely tired. We wake up, it's like 6:30, and my wife is doing something I've never seen her do. She's cuddled up under the covers, watching Hey Arnold. I've never seen my wife put on cartoons. It was peculiar to me. I knew it was something in her needed to feel like a child. Like really cuddled up, like it's Saturday morning cartoon time. Just kind of rubbing on her. I'm not trying to get it popping. You just showing love. If I was attempting to take it to a sexual level, while she was in that space, may have felt pressure because this is my husband. Had a beautiful day. We exhausted a lot of energy. Sex would be great right now. But Candace was not 34 years old. Later on in the day, we talked about, I'm like, yo, why was you watching the cartoon? I hear a lot that a good woman is going to always cartoon. She was like, I don't know. How old did you feel like you was in that moment? She was like, I was probably about 8. There's been many moments where her inner child will come to surface in ways where I know it's not time for me to treat her like a 34-year-old wife. It's time for me to nurture that 8-year-old when it shows up. And a lot of men don't have the emotional and energetic intelligence to understand. Sometimes you're not dealing with an adult wife. You're dealing with an 8-year-old little girl. For an 8-year-old little girl, sex is not what's on the agenda. You gotta find another way to connect.
I think that last one was the big one too. Sometimes, you gotta just put in a little work to find, different ways to connect. And it speaks a lot about just emotional intelligence too. I thought that was a great observation.
About an only okay. So I was gonna play. That was a very particular situation. That's very specific to him. I've never experienced like a scenario where I felt like my old lady was being in a younger mental whatever that was for him, that she was that the way I understand what he was saying. You know what I mean? But I've never never know a woman that I've been with like.
So if you was to paraphrase what he was saying, what do you think?
That she was in a moment. He pretty much saw that there could have been an opportunity to have sex, but then he placed himself on the back burner and paid attention to where she was and where she could have been mentally in that moment, which he allowed her to be the inner child that she was at that moment. And I get that, but I think that's very specific and to like generalize it. That's one of those sound good things where we can sit there and be like, oh yeah, but
that was a specific moment, but that feeling isn't the specific. Like that thing
sound like an overthinking.
That feeling is something that happens.
And I guess all right. So if we was I was about to get to that where I think that there's some fruit to what he was saying. I think that you don't have to like make it like have sex when then like you're bringing in like the idea of like having sex with an 8-year-old and shit like that. I think that makes it a little weird. But if we're speaking specifically about are there moments in which even as an adult you enjoy like guys with games? I think this is like a perfect space where like a lot of people would say like that's a younger thing to do and like you're kind of like being like quote unquote a child. But in that space is a space of happiness, enjoyment, and like at that time you might not want to deal with like your wife nagging your wife even if like she probably came up and wanted to like do whatever.
You see that joke where the girl walked around in the booty shorts while the guy
the whole thing, but I see what you're saying.
But no, I think I'm only making it relatable to us,
more people. That's what I'm saying.
I made it relatable to like men, but like I get like in general, like the example that he gave, like I said, I don't really have too much of a comment because he skewed it inside like a really weird way where you brought sex into it.
But go ahead.
He didn't have to make
productively. You were doing it more. That's all I was trying to say is that there's much. Go ahead. You were doing it more productively.
But no, I think that there are spaces where male or female, where like even if like the best like quote unquote adult experience could come up to you, i.e. like whether it is sex, whether it is like sometimes you want to be isolated in what say you. I guess what he was saying is like your childlike state, but to me, like inside your whatever your bubble of happiness is. I think matter of fact, Jeff sent he sent me one of these days. It was like RC World Championship with like these like you could see like the RCs was like
they was racing them.
Yeah, they was racing. They was doing all crazy tricks and jumping off of different things like that. But to me, what I thought of in that moment was like, oh, these are men that didn't forget their inner child when they got money and older and continue just doing shit that they fuck with. And they got good at it. Huh?
I'm getting one of those joints.
Right. But like to me, like that's the kind of the concept of what he's saying is that when somebody finds something that they enjoy and they fuck with, I think that it is important not to what will be the word? Maybe we'll just use I'll use adulterated. Well, like they're inside their space and whatever like time frame. Some people say like RC cars is childish, or you know what I mean. Some people say like drumming is childish. Like it's a bunch of different things that people will say is childish. But if it brings you peace, happiness, fun, there's a space. It should be a space for that. Yeah,
bro. I literally if your significant other tells you that you're being childish for doing something that you love to do, that's a fucking red flag. If there ever is, that's one of the main, like, of course, nigga, don't be sitting on the couch, you ain't got no job, and you sitting on there talking about Call of Duty, and you in mode with the surround sound on, and she walk in the door.
But what if he on a campaign?
Bro, it don't matter, bro. You need to be, if you ain't got something, you need to be getting it together, bro. If you ain't, I'm talking about this is free time. You don't have free time if you ain't getting it. If you ain't got it, it ain't free time, bro. You need to be doing something else. But but I say this, bro, and this is what I be doing, right? So I done went and got my little steering wheel joint, right? I'm a big car guy. I want to learn how to drift in real life. Like I really want to learn how to drift in real life. Fun. So I bought the steering wheel joint for the game. I got the gear shift joint. I'm like locked in. You know what I mean?
In there being a kid.
But I'm being a kid, bro. I can't really. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna have to the man cave juice. I'm gonna get the whole cockpit and everything, bro. I'm a goddamn. You know what I mean? That's gonna be my thing. But but see, this is how you do it, right? When you're in between making the decision. So this is what I did, right? So I got this Amex card, right? So what I do, this is my second time doing this. I went and got it from the store. When I got it from the store, I'm probably gonna keep it for about 2 weeks. This long weekend right here, I was like, oh, I'm finna get it in for this little long weekend in my little free time. Hop up on that joint, burn. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna take it back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna take it back. Now that's my second time doing that. I'm gonna take it back, and then you know what I mean. When I really am in the situation where I really need to, where I feel like I can afford it. where I feel like I can afford to make that expenditure and it just be, you know what I mean, be cool and I feel good about it, then I'm going to do it. But from then on, until then, I feel like I'm renting it. You put it on that Amex card, take that jump back. But yeah, don't tell him he being childish for something, doing something that he love to do. Especially if he being
Tone, you can hit the hit the comment.
Yeah, he said that man sounded like an overthinker.
He said a lot.
A little bit. I think he overthought in the he just took it.
He got too specific with his own situation.
Like his concept is something that we all fuck with,
but he got way too in the weeds.
You just didn't have.
I thought there was something bigger that he said there, honestly. And it's something that a lot of people might take for granted in relationships, but it's like when your partner can recognize something in you that you don't necessarily recognize in yourself, but they know how to cater to that. And I think everybody has those little tropes within their relationship. Like I know, like at certain times, I need to be left alone. Like, and whoever I'm with has to respect that. Like, I might not want to talk to you for a minute, and it's gonna show if you keep trying to push it. Like, I seen another one. I seen a meme this weekend. This guy was talking about how his wife is basically like a woman who, like, she needs her space while still having him close. So sometimes he's just sitting there with her, like not touching her, but he'll just sit there with her, like just because she enjoys, like she wants him close, but she still needs her space.
Yeah, I get it.
Like little stuff like that. I think everybody has those little tropes within their relationships where it's like, and that's something that I think that's natural partnership. That's one of them things like you kind of appreciate it without realizing you appreciate it.
Have we exhausted Johnny's list?
Click Chuck E. Cheese for me real quick, then we'll be out. This is just funny.
How many memes you?
Yeah, Johnny got about 5.
You said what?
Chuck E. Cheese is open.
How did you get that on there?
I pressed this little circle right here. Is Chuck E. Cheese opened?
Chuck E. Cheese is open today from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Here are the hours for the rest of the week.
And this is open.
You said what?
That's the tough part about the information age right there, boy.
She said, Mama, why you lying to me like that?
Yeah, I want to throw another funny one in here real quick while we at the fun stuff, because I just thought this was funny.
But kids are just hilarious. Bro.
Some of you niggas get so comfortable, you start farting around your woman. You bugging. Now she looking at you like a regular nigga. I don't do none of that type of shit around my bitch. I'm not taking no shits around my woman. I'm not farting around my woman. I'm not digging in my nose around my woman. You know why I'm not doing all of that shit? Because I'm not getting too comfortable. She got to see me as excellence at all times. She gotta look up to me at all times. Now, if you doing all the average shit that these niggas always doing around they chick, then you just look like the average nigga that's walking around the house scratching his ass. Y'all getting too comfortable. A woman could never say she seen me digging my nose in front of her. A woman could never say she smelled my fart. Never in life, never in history. It ain't happening. I'm not getting that comfortable. And she can't do that shit around me either. You expect me to hit that after I just saw you take a shit? It ain't happening. it just called me bougie, called me whatever you want to call me. It just ain't happening. You feel me? I don't get that comfortable. That's just me. Some of you niggas getting too comfortable. Some of you,
bro, that was one of them. That's one of them niggas who just be saying shit in podcasts.
And then you can tell the confidence that he has in what he's saying. He's like, feel like he dropping gems on niggas. Y'all need to stop. The reason why she ain't fucking with you no more is because you taking shits.
You farting around your
This
woman,
nigga walk around the house, stomach bubbling and shit.
My woman ain't never seen me fart.
Trying to get on the podcast.
Right. I think the issue with it is the fact that it's niggas that don't ascribe to that that's hitting the like button to what that nigga just said. That shit's so dumb right there. Like, listen. I put it like this: if you ever had a pregnant woman, she gonna fart the fuck out.
Oh, period.
Like, it just is what it is. And listen, I be trying to hide my farts. I turn to the side like that in the bed and put it that way. But them covers the motherfucker.
Yeah, no, you gotta lift the cover, bro.
No, but if you lift it, you gonna flap it, and then that wind gonna find it.
Even if it's accidental, you might be trying to just adjust your position and all.
Dang, nah, you can't leave it under the covers though. That's dirty work, bro. You just leave it under the covers.
Nah, you got to leave it under the covers sometimes.
Yeah, hopefully, and you hope that it seeps out slowly.
This thing under the cover, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's dirty. That's crazy, bro. Because it could come out at any moment, bro. But yeah, nah, I ain't going fraud, bro. I got to.
No, I try to put it.
Replace.
That's why I try to go this way.
Yeah, you got to come up out of the covers,
and
bro.
I just do that.
You got to come all the way out the covers, and then. But see, that's if you trying to do all that. Like me, bro. I don't got. We it's been too long, bro.
Oh no, there's still common courtesy though.
Skirt that, like, bro, that's just me. But and she talk junk, bro. That's me.
Oh no, I get
talking
it.
About,
in general, I try not to just like. Even if I'm farting, me, I don't want you to have to deal with my fart.
Oh nah,
if that makes sense.
I think that's a. I think
y'all
in a
have
relationship,
bro. That's part of love.
I think that's part of love.
That's
you
part
got
of
to deal
love,
with this.
bro.
You gonna have to deal with this.
To me, if I think that it's about to be stank, it's not a matter of like, oh, I'm scared to fart in front of you. I would walk to. I just go to the other side.
I
of the
just
room.
got manners.
Yeah, it's no reason to like.
I want to
treat somebody that way.
Let's bash.
Well, you got,
like smell my ass.
Like and my thing is like if it's a silent one that ends up coming out in the stank, it's like my bad. Yeah. Like earlier today, like I had let one out and it was a silent one. I didn't think it was gonna rain that. But I walked downstairs. He said, "Did you fart?" I was like, "Dang, my bad." It was like but
you boy farted and got up out of there.
You just set her up for it. That's even worse. You set her up for it, bro.
Well, I think I was grabbing something.
That's even
during
worse,
that
bro.
time, you know what I mean? Like it be coming out. And that's also a thing that they don't tell you about. When you hit like over a certain like 35.
Oh yeah.
You start getting a little more gassy, my
bro.
boy.
Nah, that shit happened to me at work this week.
I realized it one time I was in the car, like I got out and came back to the car, and you know that old man fart smell.
Yeah, that happened to me today.
I was like,
with,
dang.
TJ. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like,
listen,
I'm old. It smell like
gas.
old man fart, bro. That's why you.
If we talking gas stories, like I said, me and QJ went to the dollar store. We both got out, and then he came in before me. But then when I came in, and I was like, and my first thought was like, damn. He probably let one out, but then I thought about like, nah, I kind of had some gas, and I was like, that probably was me. He was like, yeah, I smelled that when I got in here too.
Hold on, let me give y'all one funny one too, bro. So this is where I was working at the last institution I was working at. You know the revolving doors?
Yeah.
Like you got to put your badge up and revolve. Bro, my thing was I was thinking I was leaving out the office by myself at that time. Bro, I left it in the doggone revolving door. I wasn't thinking about, I'm gonna just put this here. You know what I mean? But it just happened to be
and it
there.
Came back
and there was a black woman walking behind me. She came out the elevator after well, I tell you, I looked back and I just felt shame. You know what I mean? But it was hilarious still. But it was very shameful.
No, I got one. And mine was this shit happened Thursday at the job. I had to work late. Stomach was bubbling. I said, just go upstairs. None of the girls upstairs here. So I was like, all right, bet I'm gonna go use the bathroom upstairs. It's always clean, it's pristine.
Oh, the women's bathroom?
Well, it's not. No, it's upstairs for the accountant office. It's men's and women.
Oh,
and then I just seen the cleaning crew.
Pay grade was up there.
The cleaning crew had came down. So I was like, y'all finished upstairs? And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, bet. It's fresh. I'm going up there. Got on the elevator, going up. I'm thinking nobody up there. Elevator open. 2 of them from accounting right there. I
left it on the elevator.
I had left 2 of them on the elevator, bro. I left 2 of them. I mean, my stomach was hurt, and I left 2 of them. They door open. I mean, they
You should have said my bad. Hey,
and
my
they
bad.
scared me, and I scared them because neither one of us thought anybody was coming. And you know, you like. And I was like, let me get up out of here. And they got on that elevator. I ran.
Oh, you were supposed to warn them, bro. You was wrong. That's why you got to warn people like, look, my bad, look.
Yeah, and I think the problem with you is the fact that at a car dealership, there's a finite amount of people. If you work in an office where there's a lot of people, you can get that one off a little bit. Because I might not see you again. They going to know you. Because you a salesman. You, Johnny, you've been there for years.
Yeah, that's, man, that farted on the elevator.
Look like we got about like
got
3 of them.
I did 2 of them.
Okay. Talk.
But let's start there.
Yeah, read through it.
He is too uncomfortable with reality.
I agree.
Facts.
He has issues that he need to rectify. He just not comfortable with himself.
Yeah.
I like to fart and leave it in the area and then laugh at how angry a person gets just because of a fart.
No, you that's him.
That's me.
That's him.
That is this guy.
Hey,
it's the only nigga like all the rest of us. We got like we'll just walk out there in a closed space with no ventilation.
This guy
let it out.
And the problem is that like it's certain ones that you can sound how you know they're gonna smell. His be having like a little to the
Man, come on, bro.
You be like, that one's going to stink.
Bro,
it's going to stink. And it's like,
I'm like, I ain't trying to smell your dinner, my guy.
Yeah, just step out right there. It's right there.
My thing is y'all gonna be all right though.
I think that's the obvious.
I'm still laughing at how the man said he ain't letting his woman fart. You never try to tell her you ain't
know
farting
the crazy,
around me.
Yeah, that's crazy. But I definitely can't see.
Man, what you gonna do if she farts?
No, ain't nothing gonna do nothing.
What you gonna do?
Nothing. But it is still like I think that, bro. I'm not the guy to sit here and the whole women and men saying I don't want my woman to just skirt off shit like I do. You know what I mean? I'll just let him go.
Hey,
but I don't want her to just be sitting there. You know what I mean? I think that's going too far.
In your case, y'all got years, bro. Like that's
if you just like making her wear farts. And you gonna tell her go to the other room? That's like, crazy. That shit is crazy. Like what you saying is
farting in front of me.
That's crazy. But not eat this wet one.
Yeah, you go outside, but we up and sleep tonight.
Fuck that. That's crazy.
I'm tucking the sheets under.
Hey, I hit old head the other day and goddamn put the child safety lock on the windows.
Oh man,
you a wild
bro. That
boy.
shit was hilarious, bro. I'm telling you. I think these are healthy laughs, bro. I'm just saying.
I'd open the door with your
My nigga
ass.
Jeremy passing out trauma everywhere.
That's nose abuse.
Johnny, who's next?
Let's go with real.
All right.
Okay. So let me ask you, Tone. Is that one that you're doing?
What?
The one that I like the question, Joe.
Oh, talking about the number.
list.
Yeah.
I like the list.
Go ahead and do it. I want somebody to do it. So
okay, yeah, I want to do the list, Joe. Make sure we
pull
get that, Joe.
All right.
That list was hard.
All right, so I do got it in here.
It's hard to rank them that long. We ain't got to go that far.
I got like the first.
Nah, I wrote mine down, but
well, to me, I did mine in tiers because I think that there's some interchangeable ones and there's like, but I think in like there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
So, but excuse me. So there's 10 with the added one that he
we added spirituality because
and then,
on the other list they got spirituality. They ain't got it on this one though.
Okay, but my thing
make sure
is
put the list up there so that they can see it.
Oh yeah, I forgot I ain't showing it.
Oh yeah. But my thing is that like, so we actually gonna go through all of them and like try to rank them. I think that's gonna take a bit of time.
Well, I think to me, how I interpret it is like just say what yours is. If you have some rationale behind it, say it. But if not, that's cool. Also, I don't think that we have to like talk each one and then come up with a concise
Just real
list.
quick, Miss Sharon said consider the fart an initiation.
Oh yeah,
like if the woman fart consider it.
Oh yeah, well I'm about to say
once she fart around you, that means she
also Mama Sharon let him out and yeah, she be doing some shit. I was like, all right, come on, man. Like that's the problem when like you the kid of a mama. Like your mama gonna do shit that I don't want no woman like.
Weird. That's weird.
Yeah,
don't talk to me too much about it either, before I get hot about it.
It's like when Craig dad had him come and get that thing in the bathroom. When he's like, come on, that's what them shits be. Yeah.
All right, so what y'all list looking like?
Who want to go first?
Read it first.
Yeah, read them out.
Fellas, rank these things from most important to least important for you when choosing the woman to be in a relationship with. Number 1, her career. Number 2, how much money she makes. Number 3, education level. 4, looks/shape. 5, homemaking skills. 6, how she makes you feel, appreciated/respected. 7, positive personality/mindset. 8, feminine, pleasant, classy attitude, demeanor. 9, willingness to please you sexually. And 10, spirituality/religious beliefs.
Okay. Does anybody want to go first, or I can go first? Yeah.
So you go first.
How do you get to this? Where I can just
it's in group me.
Oh, it's in the group. That is right. Man.
Okay.
You can go first.
I can go first. All right, cool. And again, I ranked them in tiers. And for me, if I went tier 1,
this nigga going above and beyond.
Not really, but because to me it's harder to put
extra credit.
Credit and shit.
I guess. But to me, it's a little bit harder because I think that there's some of them that are like equal of importance, and to like say this one is above that one, you're just pulling hairs. But I do think that there are some of them that are more important to me than others, and least important, if that makes sense. And that's kind of where
no, I think that allows for a little bit of a cop out. I think that it's just better to just give it the list?
Like to me, like to be honest, like it's 5 or 6 of them that like it doesn't matter where I put them at. And like to do it is whether I'm copping out or not. I'm just saying shit then. But like if I'm speaking to what matters most to me,
premeditate mine though. Y'all, you thought about yours too.
Well, he put it in there to think about. Like to me,
I didn't list them all. I had my top 3.
Y'all niggas can't be mad at that I thought about it. Tone put it in there days in advance to think about it.
Tone, did you sit and like actually like write your list out? Oh, you said you did write your list.
Yeah,
I got my list.
Like
okay,
he told
so
you
I'm
to
the
do
only nigga. He didn't say write a list, bro. He didn't say that.
Why else would he put something in there 5 days in advance? Like,
bro, y'all can kiss
that's what the shit is for.
No, thank you.
All right, so to me, what is and to me, this is if I'm going to marry this woman.
Mm-hmm.
So in my first ranking, I think that what is 3, 6, and 1. All right, so I'm gonna go through it. So education level. Education level to me is important because there's 2 things that if you go statistically would actually like it like gives you the highest outcome of having kids that are successful. There is parental education, that is a high marker, and there is like pretty much that like the income level in which that the family group is within. Those are 2 heavy markers that when you look at who are inside the higher percentile of being successful, just being, I guess what you would say, upstanding citizens and whatever. So for me, kids is really important if I'm being inside a long-standing relationship, and I have broken up with and not went on second dates with women that are airheads, and it's because of I'm not interested in having dumb kids. That for me, that's really really high up there. What is 6?
6 is how she makes me feel, or how she makes you feel appreciated / respected.
Yeah, I think that's simple and it kind of like speaks to itself. And this is tier 1 for me.
You actually wrote a list.
I got them in my head. I'm just gonna know.
Okay. And you got numbers too, right?
Yeah, I got numbers.
Okay, go ahead.
I just know which ones. I didn't write it
I'm
down.
literally looking at the numbers right here. Where one, her career, and I think that this is like the fallacy that I think most niggas get wrong across the board is when you say her career, they're only thinking about how much she's making and if she has a great job. That's not what I mean. And why it's important to me. There is a bunch of careers that exclude themselves from me being interested. And that's not only just saying like if she's OnlyFans or if she's a stripper. There's certain things. Examples. No, I'm about to. There's certain careers that doesn't work for me, and I'm not interested. Like whether, like truthfully, if we're at 36 and you're a bartender, I'm not interested. You are a waiter, I'm not interested. Like there's too much interaction with people that I like. I'm just not interested, especially if you're a waiter inside specific establishments.
That's a job though.
Oh no, it is. But again, for me, what I'm not interested in.
But he was saying a career versus a job. But I understand what you're saying.
Oh, is that what you're saying? Like it's like all right. So
I don't say nobody does that long term, or like if you.
All right, so like then maybe we should take career off of here. We're not talking about like where you're employed at. Okay, that's what I take that as.
You good? Go ahead.
And all right, so but then also there's certain jobs that don't deal within anything that deals with anything that I'm not interested in. I'm not interested in a woman that like a stewardess. I'm not interested in that. Yeah. Because of like you're pretty much having a long distance
flight
in-home your flight attendant. I'm not interested in that because of like you're gone a lot. Like I'm not interested inside a relationship with somebody whose career makes them not be here a lot.
Female truck driver.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's another example of it.
Why you look like that, nigga? They on the road all the time.
But yeah, to me, any career that takes you away from these niggas, but any career that takes you away from like us building and being in like together a long time, I'm not interested.
So that's why you said someone can go together because homemaking skills kind of goes with that to some degree.
To me, I don't think so.
Okay,
but
good. So that's your first. That's all of the first tier.
Yeah, those 3 would probably be my in my top tier.
You said 6, 3, and 1.
Yep. Next, I would say what is 7?
Positive personality / mindset.
And all of these are interchangeable. 7, what's 4?
Look / shape.
Look / shape. In which I think that when like as you evolve as a man, there's a space where like if look/shape should have been like it's always going to be number one, right? And then you learn that there's a bunch of things that comes with like say look/shape. If we're speaking about not what's attractive to you, not what you like, but like these 10s, like if you're looking for 10s across the board, I'm like I want like when it comes to look and shape and the person that I'm dating, I want to be attracted to you. I want to be able to be comfortable going out with you. I want you to be able to be look good enough to be around my friends and all that shit. I don't care if like you are like of 1% body fat. I don't care if you have a Hottentot body. If anybody know who Sarah Bartman is, like I'm not interested inside any of those things. I just care if you're like if you are attractive to me and I can feel proud of having you on my arm. And that's why I'll make sure that like I said, it's tier 2, and it depends on how a lot of other things kind of line up with it. What is 2?
How much money she makes.
Yeah. So I think that here's the reality. I've always stated that I have a basement, and for me, basement meaning that in general, I think what is it? 8 out of 10 people are going to have a wife that works with them. I mean, that also works. That's just the reality of the world in which we live in. So if we're going to speak of reality and not like fantasy land world, what like what she brings in does matter to an extent because of most niggas aren't making 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. And depending on what y'all are trying to get done and accomplish and what your worldview is, what my worldview is, I guess I'm speaking to me, that matters. What is 8?
Feminine, pleasant, classy attitude, demeanor.
Yeah,
see, I think that goes with number 7. Like I couldn't separate.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a bunch of them that's similar. What's 9?
Willingness to please you sexually.
Yeah, and all right, so I guess that's another quick one to dive into where when you're single, you want to fuck every day. The reality is that like if you've been in any version of a long-term relationship, you understand, huh?
Yeah, nah, keep going.
No, yeah, if what you realize is that there is a balance in which you're going to have to put sex. And if you put that as the highest thing, you're going to break up in every single relationship. Mm-hmm. Should you enjoy having sex part? Yes. I think that is important for sure. And should they want to satisfy you? Yes. But if you think that you're going to be fucking every day or every other day or every 3 days throughout your relationship, that's a fantasy. And as a guy, you better go ahead and like bump down your expectations in general. Johnny's still single, so he think he can fuck every day.
Nah. Expectations and experience that that's we gonna go somewhere with that. So I like that.
You like that? All right. What's like that's tier 2. What's tier? Go for me. Tier 3 is what's 5?
Nigga, you ain't done yet.
Homemaking skills.
Nah, I'm not. See, the difference is that like. Listen, if a nigga asks me to actually do some research and have thought to something, I'm gonna do it. I know, like you show up to class without your homework and you doing it in the back.
Bro,
you doing it in the back.
That's why I dropped out, bro.
I get it. I ain't drop out. And
y'all niggas wasting time and shit.
No, I enjoy not just saying shit. So for me, 5 homemaking skills. I think that's cool. I think that we're in a space now also where like so many things matter but don't matter, and I think that that's one of the ones that I'll probably lean less on. Where like if I speak even like right now, in general, like if you've had a pregnant, like to me when I had a pregnant woman, like my expectation for her to clean, cook, and do all that shit for the last 3 months pretty much wasn't like the biggest of priorities and shit. Even after her having a kid, the first 1 or 2 months, they're not going crazy. They're still a recovery phase, and pretending like I don't know how to like I didn't live most of my life. And even when we're good, like my only expectation is that like, hey, make sure that we have one meal throughout the week, and we meal prep enough to where like we're good, and then we both make good money to where like we can switch off three out of them days. I'm like buying some shit. It's not that big of a deal. Pretending like dishwashers don't exist is crazy. Like pretending like vacuuming a floor is the hardest thing as a man is crazy to me. And 10 religious and like all that really doesn't matter at all to me. That's me.
Real? Oh, you want me to go?
I don't care.
You want me to go? I'll go.
I ain't gonna be that long though. I go last.
I'll go. So for me, let me pull up the list so I can see it. So I had, to me, number one, and it was pretty easy what number one for me was. It was 6. How she makes you feel appreciated. I think to me, I'm always big on chemistry and like the feeling and like to me, if I don't feel like more of a person when I'm with you, if I don't get energized being with you versus I feel like I'm getting the energy zapped from me, or I feel like a worse version of myself when I'm with you, can't do it. So so to me, 6 is gonna be a big one. Number 2, 7 and 8, I was kind of wishy-washy on. I end up going with 7.
Okay.
Because positive personality and more in setting your mindset. I gotta have I gotta be able to rock with the mindset. After that,
you said 7 and 8.
Well, no, 7 is number 2. I don't know where I'm gonna put 8.
Okay.
It maybe 3, but those were kind of I kind of lumped them together. Said 7 and 8 would be number 2.
Okay.
Then I would have to go with I'd probably have to go with number 5. They're the homemaking skills. Next, then 4 looks.
So for you, her cooking, cleaning, and laundry is like heavy.
Well, I don't think to me.
What you mean by homemaking skills then?
He trying to coerce my boy. Let my boy work.
Yeah,
let my boy work.
Is that it?
But I do want to know what you mean by it, because I got.
Well, I think homemaking skills
is coercing.
I think homemaking skills is way more than just cooking, cleaning.
Then answer.
That's pretty much you talking about. That's what the kids and all of that's like the
it's like taking care. It's turning a house
into a home
from to a home. So that's way more than just cook. Sometimes it's decorating. We should put this here instead of there because it make more sense. That a woman's touch, and even just like that, goes a long way. We need to have more plants in this room because so to me that's
one of them ones.
That's very important. Then
I agree.
4 and 9 were kind of in the same things to me. Looks, shape versus willingness to please me sexually, or how much to me you either one of those kind of go there. Then I'd say well, no, because I got to put that spirituality in there somewhere. I got to put, and I think spirituality would come next.
What number are you on right now?
That'll be 10.
No, I'm not on.
Oh, you talking about what number?
10. I got that'd be 7, and then my last 3 would be education level, her career, how much money she makes. I think education level would be 7, how much money she makes, and then her career. Less. They don't really care.
OnlyFans Johnny.
I guess that do work out.
That does work out like a motherfucker.
That's what he said.
That's crazy. That was perfect.
That's what Johnny said.
Shit.
Only nigga that was dated OnlyFans worker. I get it.
So I guess it's on me. I ain't mad at your list, Johnny.
I explained it well.
Yeah,
I
ain't mad at your list, bro. I ain't mad at your list. I'm fairly similar. I definitely feel like number 6 is number 1.
Facts.
How she makes me feel, if I feel appreciated and respected. I definitely like number 7 as well. That positive attitude, positive. Because the thing is, like me as a man, I already know I have a lot that I deal with and take the lead in. I got a lot of shit on my plate, so your ability to effectively make me feel better about all of the shit that I'm trying to do, that would be so very much important to me. Number 3 is going to be the homemaking skills. Homemaking skills is, and that to me, like I incorporate that into when you talk about teaching the kids, because at the end of the day, I'm not a proponent that believes that her education level so much affects the child's education level, because you're teaching the child from a certain place. She ain't gotta go have no degree in fucking psychology to be able to teach my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever year old how to effectively be above where they are currently. So like that was That one right there, that goes into homemaking with me as well. Then, well, we already know, like I'm with Johnny. The bottom, it's easy for me to jump. I can jump to the bottom real quick. Her career, how much money she makes, and then her education. Those are like way further. Like that's the bottom of the list for me. I don't really care about all that part. I'm honestly like the dudes be talking. Oh yeah, I wouldn't date the woman that works at the whatever you can fill in the blank for whatever we think is like a low earning. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah,
Y'all know I already does. I've been on that time for a minute. I don't care about that shit. If you making me feel good, you know what I mean. You allow me to be the man that I'm trying to grow to be, and you know what I mean. I'm cool with that. Let me see. Feminine, classy attitude. I think that when it comes to that reminds me what I think of is like where Kevin was talking about, or what Q was saying, like being able to be around and coexist with your friend group, or like you got something going on at the job, her being able to come and you know what I mean, be a feminine presence, you know what I mean, being a constructive and productive +1 to an event that you know what I mean. That's just I think that would be. I mean, but it's still kind of low though.
Hey, real quick, Unc said, Q, stop bullying Johnny. You wrote a whole novel.
You click it up to the people to see it.
Yeah, I did.
Hey. Yeah, my man just did the extra credit work.
He's fair.
Oh no, Johnny gave an explanation for every single one also though.
Yeah, looks is like, you know, that's down. I mean, it's above her career, how much money she makes in education level. But yeah, it's like down there on that bottom half.
Hey, so about everybody agrees 6 is like number 1.
Yeah, 6 was inside my top.
That's number 1 on my list too. After 6 though, 10 is
I forgot about the spirituality.
Yeah, I almost forgot to put that in there.
It ain't on the list.
I ain't gonna front. That's number 2 for me. Mm-hmm. That's number 2 for me.
Hey, real quick. Hey, Johnny. So what do you want her to be though?
What you mean? What do I want her to be?
Because you like last week you was asking us about like if you wanted to be Muslim or Islamic. Today you just said you don't believe in none of that shit, just God. What do you want her to be?
He goes sip.
I want her to be in tune with the
chakras. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
manifest.
She gotta,
manifest culture.
She got to be in tune with her. She got to be in tune with her
and
vibrations.
This is an example of niggas saying
shit. Yeah, her chakras got to be open.
Yeah, she gonna have to believe in Jesus with me, bro.
Like I said,
number 2, like that's my second one. Religious belief, spirituality. Like if
Johnny
she was any woman who done been with me, I had to go through it. So
yeah. But no, I actually would have expected that to be heavy, be high for you.
Number 3, I put homemaking skills.
Mm-hmm.
Then I said number 4, look/shape. That matters to me. Like
5, like them scuds.
Scuds.
Number 5 is feminine, pleasant, classy attitude, demeanor. Yeah, hold on, wait a minute. I feel like I skipped something.
Number 7.
I did say I put number 5 as my number 3. So homemaking skills is my number 3, just to clarify. And that's because I agree with y'all on that. Like how the home feels, that's very important to me because like I know like I got good homemaking skills. Like if I'm in the house, I'm like the house is my comfortable place so I want it to be as comfortable as possible.
And men can have good homemaking skills too. That's
exactly. But like
so you don't
take out some decor shit.
You don't take out the trash.
I do all that.
That's homemaking.
That's homemaking skills, bro. Like certain stuff that make the home, or even having fun, being able to have fun and bring something to the house where it's like your personality can be a homemaking skill. So like certain things, how you make the home feel, that's why I determine it's homemaking skills. How you make home feel.
Your mom does a good job too.
Okay. So wild.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but that was my number 3. My number 4 was look/shape, which was number 4. That's ironic. My number 5 was feminine, pleasant, classy attitude, demeanor. My number 6 was education level. Number 7 was positive personality /mindset.
Why you say education level?
As far as my 6, mainly because like I don't want to I like a woman who can keep up with the conversation that I'm having. I don't want to diss. She doesn't have to be like have a whole like degrees and stuff, but
yeah. And I guess like to clarify for me, I wasn't speaking specifically about like degrees as much as like to me. I guess maybe like a better asterisk would be intellectual level. And I think that
don't let that man steal your time, bro.
Nah, you know
I didn't. You
Well, I'm just saying,
niggas be knowing when it like,
bro, you got your
they
thesis
got
off first, bro. You got yours off, bro.
I asked one question and said like 3 words.
But then you want to go back and edit
I don't mind asking questions about why I put something in position.
Like, no, but we didn't. But all right, go ahead, Tom.
You done talk more.
I'm trying to
God, I
give you
just asked one question.
Go ahead.
Niggas is insecure about their list or something. I just was asking a question about it.
Yeah, you could have told me my list. You already know I've been staying in the same place ever since.
No, for sure. I agree.
My number 7 was positive personality / mindset. Number 8 was willingness to please you sexually. Number 9 was how much money she makes, and number 10 was her career. Yeah, I think like the funny part about it, under the list, most of the dudes' last 3 was education level.
No, it was career, education, and how much money she made. I
didn't even look at that.
Oh yeah, I definitely read it.
I felt like that's why they put them up there as the top 3. I felt like that was
I think it's easy. I also think that is a case of niggas just saying shit.
I think niggas were just saying shit to a degree too, just because they wanted to make sure that, like, because women think we care about their career and their money and their education level, which to a degree we do.
I think that is middle. I think it's closer to like middle, but most niggas,
it's
like,
not the top of
most
the list.
niggas have a woman that works,
but that's not
and what she contributes matters to an extent.
And the thing, this is what I think that where you're answering the question, you're not necessarily answering it from what works so good or what's working for you. It's where you value these things. So just because my old lady works and I appreciate her contribution doesn't mean that that's just one of the most important things on my list of that she does. You know what I mean? It's still many things that could go above that, even though I appreciate her contribution.
If she ain't do it, you wouldn't be with her.
That's not the point, but what it is that these things are so much more important. Well, I mean, hey, if you a nigga that ain't gonna be with no lady because of her profession, then
no. All right. So again, if we just go to the reality of what the world is that, like right now, only 15% of people, men, don't have women that work.
No,
like are inside the So what I'm saying is that in general, most guys have a woman that contributes to the household, and so there is a level of importance that kind of goes with it. That's my only.
What I'm saying is that it's importance relative to what the list is, where you put it as important. I'm not saying that you're not right, but what I'm saying is that they're.
Oh no, you're giving leeway for niggas to just say shit. I get it.
All right, whatever, bro.
I'll say now Q going on a book tour.
Might as fucking well, goddamn.
That's a fact.
My nigga would have put an asterisk beside shit and come back and.
Oh no, I just like
works cited page and all of that.
These are always good moments where like you can see niggas just saying shit, and it's fun. It's
still on me, right? Yeah, I like that conversation. I appreciated that. That was fun. Bro, you know me. I honestly put these in here. I just don't be remembering them like that. I know that last one is some messy shit. Oh, girl, that was messy. Oh, go to the girl right there. Go up. That one that you had at the top.
Oh, the fine one.
With the light skin with the curly hair.
Gotcha.
She actually be having some dope videos too.
Maybe I'm a pick me, which would make you a don't pick me. Or we're both wrong. Because I mean it's the women who get to pick, right? We were the gatekeepers. But then the campaign to increase tax revenue came around, known as modern day feminism, and remarketed promiscuity as liberation to add to the list of reasons why men don't work for us anymore because they don't have to. And now we're bragging about paying our own bills like it was our idea because we don't need them, right? And we remind them all the time, even though we know that's not true. Those thoughts aren't even our own. They are definitely not organic. They are factory farmed. We are factory farm people being fed factory farm feminism that manipulates our factory farm fears so that we remain the convicts of our factory farmed convictions until we recognize that we are being pulled away from each other and locked away from real life, stripped of real happiness, but satiated by smoking or sipping all the synthetic substitutes they sell us. I'm not a don't pick me. It's giving pick me.
Yeah, I like her. Like she does it all. Like always, pretty much talking to herself and giving this one little stance and then giving an articulate, very well thought out, elegantly. You know what I mean? Put perspective.
Shout out to her education level.
Oh yeah.
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 Yo.
This nigga. Yeah.
You had to keep up with it for
It's different if you talking about your old lady, but that's like I said, Either way, let's just continue on.
Bro, I hate to get in an argument with her.
Oh yeah, she got
you losing that argument like just because you don't even know.
Satiated. I was like, okay, yeah, I dropped out. I told you that.
It's the listening portion for me. I'll be done tuned out at a certain point. Like,
see, those are the things that turn me on right there.
Nah, I would have been tuned out at a certain. Can you repeat that? I missed what you said.
Yeah. But
I'm tune out when you just start saying dumb shit.
How did you feel about that, Johnny?
I ain't gonna lie.
You was in your phone.
Yeah. I was looking at something. You saw me in my phone.
That's why I asked me. Hey, you remember back in the day when your teacher used to do that shit?
This nigga saw me look up and was like, "Hey, Johnny."
That nigga. This is what happened. Johnny let off all 4, 5, 6 of his, and he said, "Fuck him." I'm gonna tune back in when we do questions.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, he got it off.
But blah 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 blah. How do I feel about what she said? The don't pick me conversation. I don't know. I think that there's room for both of them. I guess the only point that I'm not like the biggest fan of that she made would be like I think like engaging in conversations that the reference point to it is like 80 years old is not that interesting to me, because like as a society we've moved past that, in my opinion. So if we're talking about like the women's suffrage movement, when the women came into the workforce, it's like 1930. Like we're almost at 100 years of that shit. And if we're pointing to that in modern way, not she didn't even say modern wave. She said like the feminist movement that was sparked by that, in which women being in the workforce. So like the past 80 years, women have been working. Like I don't know, like so our parents, our grandparents, and their parents all were working. And so like if that's what you're basing the argument off of, it's just like, all right.
Their grandparents have been a stretch. But what I would say is that
like 1940.
Okay,
that's 3 grandparents.
Okay,
that's
what
not
I was gonna say is that I feel like she also bring it all the way to current too. Like she started there, but then she also went down to talking about how the attitude towards it is like the job is so important. So she did start at them the introduction of them working and talked about the taxes. And then she also brought it forward from talking about how liberating that feels to not only have the job and like that be a big thing for you, and then
but
the
like
liberation
the
of being,
and I don't need a man thing.
But also talking about the being promiscuous, making you feel liberated.
Yeah, that's
and she pretty much talked about that whole modern mindset, all of that.
Oh yeah, and
started from there.
I like there's like I'm not a feminist person. Like I'm not an advocate for feminism specifically, outside of like the actual definition of it, in which I'm not like for like the whole woman liberation, I should fuck everybody movement. The thing about like say this podcast is that it's 3-4 men in here, and so like I'm typically just voicing the middle opinion for like a lot of our opinions, but anytime there's women around, I'm also doing the exact same thing. Like anytime we have like a game, like I'm going pretty like it's not necessarily hard, but a lot of the times I'm like egging and pushing their buttons a lot of times. It's just that like we don't have a female panel member, but I'm not a feminist by any stretch of the imagination. So like I agree with that. Like in those statements, and that's why I said like the thing that she's saying that I can specifically take away from it that I don't agree with is like going back to 1940 and speaking about that.
Okay. I actually took out of what she was saying, like basically one of the things I was saying like a few weeks ago, like where now we have this whole thing where women like to talk about how their grandmamas had, their grandmamas didn't know what they was talking about, and they was suffering in silence and miserable and all of this stuff. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I think she was just going back to say like, we thinking this is so much better, but this ain't better. I think that's basically what it all went down to. We thinking this new idea of what a woman looks like or is supposed to be is better. And we didn't pick any of this. While you talking about a pick me, like we didn't pick any of this, but we live in it. Like
and
we
I think
maybe
I get is that what you mean by that we need each other. I think that what it all boiled back down to is the idea that while we're trying to separate ourselves, we already did that as far as a community. We already prioritize ourselves, our kids, our whatever, our whatever it is, it's all very much selfish. Then when you start to do that as with relationship dynamics as well, not only are you going to end up by yourself, but you're going to have a lot of unhealthy relationships along that idea and that mindset all the way through.
And no, I actually do agree with like the we need each other statement. And I think that to me, that's the part where a lot of like these conversations and the gender war conversations and all that shit ends up getting like bogged down at, is the fact that the reality is that no matter how, like if you're able to provide, say, a traditional lifestyle and your woman's cool, that's cool. Like you're still going to need her for a bunch of things that she does and XYZ. If you're inside like a modern situation, you're going to need your partner, and like each person is going to contribute, but y'all both are either way going to need each other. And that's like such the simple answer to like these conversations, is that we need each other, and finding the right person that has similar ideals to you is probably going to be the thing that works.
And then also, so I'm just gonna go back and we can move. I'll go to my next meme, but I love just like when Q came on the show and he was talking about needing his wife. Then we go to the cookout, and then everybody feels so taken back by the idea of needing someone, wanting to need their partner. I think that's just bullshit. We've continuously pulled ourselves away from everything that involves anything outside of ourselves. We literally, there was a community. They pull yourself, and now your kids stay in the house. Your kids don't play with anybody. You stay in the house. You don't know your neighbors. We literally are alienating ourselves and making nothing in our environment more important than our existence. And I'm here to say, bro, you are not that fucking important. I'm not that fucking important. Nobody in here is that fucking important. That's just the facts of it all. All these haters you think you got. If that helps you feel good at the end of the day, then hopefully I hope you feel good. But niggas don't care about you like that, and it's okay. But let's just go ahead.
All right, so I guess like I think that there is nuance, and I think that if we go Q and then we look at like the cookout, is like the nuance and the semantics of needing each other. And I think that even inside that jump, sometimes we get bogged down on like not having working definitions as a culture, in which with him, he's married. And I think that inside like a marriage, you should let your guard down to need each other. I think that when you're speaking to like, say, single people, and the idea of needing somebody is different. And so then like it becomes like the semantic conversation in which, what do you mean by that? I think everybody's end goal inside a relationship should be to need somebody else. And I think that is the important part.
It's a great way to put it. The end goal should be to need. You
should want to for sure. You shouldn't come from a place of need though. When you're dating, I don't think that that's a good spot to be from.
You shouldn't look. Yeah, you shouldn't like.
You're gonna get fucked,
right? And exploit it.
Yeah, and that's where like if you speak, you got a bunch of married people and a bunch of single people inside the same room. It's naturally going to not match because the versions of need is different.
All right, who next?
I'm gonna just do one more. Scroll down. I think you know that lady. You ever seen that lady right there, Q? Or either of y'all ever seen that lady that he just scrolled down?
I know you had two good ones that I was hoping you was gonna go to.
Oh, we'll just go to it. I don't know.
I think both of them revolved around.
But I seen these joints early in the week. I got so much stuff going on. I don't remember these joints.
No, I think you had two dealing with daycare that I thought was good. We can go either the white man or the two ladies.
Let me see.
I think we did the white lady already. Do the two men.
No,
we were told that putting a baby in daycare so that mom could go back to work would have no impact on a baby as long as they had loving parents.
We've created 3 generations of children with attachment disorders.
When you drop your baby off for an 8-hour workday, what does that feel like for an infant?
They feel like you've died.
Is it true that the only way mothers are able to go back to work after 3 months is to emotionally disconnect from their babies?
It should tell you that maybe you have an attachment disorder that needs to be looked at. They get into what we call schizoid states, where they flip a switch and they say, I'm not going to care anymore. If you flip that switch every day, your baby is going to start to flip that switch too.
They think that it's benefiting them socially.
No, just no. I can debunk that myth.
If you had to say, okay, you are the ideal candidate for daycare, who is that person?
I don't think anybody's a good candidate. I wish that a single mother would get together with another single mother and hire a babysitter.
There are moms who say, well, my child has been in daycare since they were 6 weeks old and they're fine.
Sometimes the symptoms come out in early childhood. Sometimes they'll come out in middle school.
What is better for part-time moms?
To work every day a little bit.
Why is it crucial for moms to not repress feelings of guilt?
When we tell women to ignore their guilt, we are not doing any favors to those women, and we are definitely not doing any favors to their children. Online, mothers are told just ignore your guilt. You're basically telling mothers to shut down their sensitive, empathic nurturing, which is critical to the survival of that child. We're talking about an epidemic of mental illness in children and adolescents, which I think is rooted in the way we raise our children from a young age.
And I think that this clip goes well with the other thing that he sent in. Scroll it down. Them comments was interesting.
Talking about my guy right here.
Yeah. Well,
with the daycare costs being so astronomical these days, I feel like a lot of two-parent households are going to go down to just one parent working. And I know that sounds backwards, but if you really run the math, if daycare is costing the average family $2,000 to $3,000 a month, let's use a husband and wife as an example. If a husband made $90,000 a year, his take-home pay after taxes is probably around $75,000. If the wife goes, I'm going to go get a job for $50,000 so we can get to $140,000, that's going to help our family. But after taxes, it's only $38,000 more. And if your daycare cost is $2,500 a month, that's $30,000 for the year. So you're working 40 hours a week and commuting for only $8,000 extra for the whole year, $650 a month. I feel like the parents could work out, like, how do we downgrade our cars, or what do we do to make up that $650? I feel like a lot of parents now are going to figure out for just 5 years until the kids are in kindergarten how to have one parent work so they can save the money, raise their children. And then when they go to kindergarten, go get that job for $50,000, $60,000. Now, all of a sudden, they can start building wealth again. But that's kind of an interesting concept. I would break down your numbers and see if it's really worth it when it's all said and done, getting a second job, but also having to have daycare. With the daycare costs being so astronomical these days, I feel like
the thing is about this. So like when I sent these in, the first step that we haven't got past is keeping the family together. Mm-hmm. That's number one. So if that's not the foundation that you have, then of course this doesn't relate to your scenario. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to have two able bodies in order for this to even make sense. But I think a lot of times the only math that we're actually doing is my income plus this income. But you ain't really looking at, like, at the end of the day, why would you be going to work 40 hours a week, 40 plus hours a week for $600 a month?
Yeah.
That ain't enough. $600 a month is not enough for you, for me to, at least for me, to feel as though that contribution is more. It's more.
I feel like
than the contribution you would have if you were with the kids those first 5 years. That's just my opinion.
So I think this is going. I almost want to get a shirt that says this. Like, are we speaking reality or fantasy land world? And so, like, if you looked at what he said, right, and the numbers that he said, first thing that he said is somebody making 90,000. How many people actually make 90,000 a year?
I don't know the exact percentage, but it's not. It's not the majority. I know
it's not 15%. It's not, like, that's like, we're getting his top 10% right now.
I was gonna say top 12 to top 10.
Yeah, it's
up there. It's there.
It's not reality. The household income doesn't come up to 90,000 for most people, and that's average. 2 incomes combined. So I think that's like such an interesting space to actually look at this at, in which, of course, if like you're making 90,000 and then you're looking at, like, say somebody that's making less, and then like what he said makes perfect sense because that's the perfect scenario. I don't think that most people live within a perfect scenario. And that also goes into like that first meme in general, where, again, because this meme actually made me look up how many people actually are inside a traditional household and how many people have two people working, because that makes a big difference. In which 15% of people are inside like quote unquote a traditional scenario, there's like I think the biggest like there's like maybe I think it's like close to 30 is inside like these blended scenarios where it's either like they're living with family and friends and like that, or the woman is making more. There's like another percentage, maybe it's like 20 of like man and woman, but the man is making a little more, and like it's like these, and then there's like the mutual one. I don't remember how many it is, but in general, like if we're not speaking to rich people and we're talking to average people, reality that most people are going to end up having to have daycare. Just the reality of it. Mm-hmm. So if we're speaking about things from like a space where it doesn't matter, or if it does, I think there's a privilege that goes with that. So that I guess that'd be point one. Point two that I would make would be, so for me, I think that like I'm from it like a really interesting space where my mother had a home daycare. I worked at an after school at a daycare. Most of like my work experience outside of what I do right now is dealing with youth, kids, and especially inside like summer camp, i.e., like that's pretty much
counselors.
Yeah, like I've always dealt with kids and adolescents, and I've seen it also as a kid. I do think that daycare is important. I think that if we're inside like reality, in Fantasyland world, there's two different ways to look at this though. Reality fantasy world is that in general, you should be able to have like a woman who can stay at home for all 5 years until they go to school, and she's going to be able to be versed enough and educated enough to where she has the ability to like teach your kid, and like the social development and all that shit works, right? Reality. I think that reality would be that in general, or better yet, this is no. I'll speak reality. Reality would be that inside the average household, most people are going to have daycare, and yeah, I think that there's just the reality of it. I'll toss it in the air. I think Jeremy, you had a little smoke, and then I think it'll make for a good conversation.
Yeah, no. So what I'll say is also while looking at the video, he did start at 90, which is definitely far beyond the average income. Mm-hmm. The average income, I think it was like 57.5. Mm-hmm. In 2023, they said the average income in the U.S. was 57.5. Mm-hmm. So that is definitely out of reach of 90. Mm-hmm. But also, if just doing the numbers as well. So if daycare costs, let's just use the number he said I don't remember the number he said, but if
what he said was high also, because I really had
like $2,000 a month.
He said 2,600. I think that like if you're doing like a mid-level, like I just looked at in Charlotte. So Charlotte might, because also when we get into these income conversations and cost conversations, cost of living really is so dependent upon, like if you're in New York and Cali, that shit's crazy. And if you're down south, it's a little bit cheaper. Right. In Charlotte, I think that like 1,500 to 1,000, you'll be at a good daycare, a good space. And I mean, like you can go lower than that if you want to. But yeah.
Yeah, so you said 1,500 a year. So
a month.
1,500 a month. So that's 15 a year. Mm-hmm. Okay, or a little over, but
it's like 17.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, what the whole point of it is just to look more into. I think we've kind of been because I'm a proponent of lowering, if need be, lowering your standard of living so that it is possible for you. Mm-hmm. That's me. My whole thing is the lower your ceiling is, all of these needs that these people. What he said was, okay, well, maybe you downsize your car. We already know that like vehicles are the number one reason, or that they come to see, is that car payments is the main reason for a lot of the poverty, a lot of the poverty line, and people losing these things and all of this credit and all this stuff. Cars.
Oh damn, you wasn't here last week because he was my guy last week, in which he talked specifically about how when you bought your house depends on if you're middle class or not right now. Specifically speaking, pre and post pandemic. And how.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's a $1,500 monthly difference.
Yeah,
and I mean, no, scratch that. It's a $2,000 monthly difference. Like for me, I bought like perfect timing where my house payment is like it's $1,500 right now. It's about to be $1,300 soon when the PMI come off. In which right now this exact same square footage
about
monthly. No, it's 36.
36. Good.
36 is the monthly payment right now.
Yeah,
that's $2,000 different. But so to be middle class right now is way different depending on when you bought a house.
Right.
And it ranges so much. Like you could be middle class at 120 or middle class at 80.
Right.
And like that makes a really, really, really big difference. Yeah, my bad. I went. Well, all right. So I guess I'll give. To me, I like to separate the forest and the trees, and so this is a reality. With I have a daughter. Newsflash: if nobody knew, I just recently had a daughter, and we're inside a situation in which she's never going to have to go to daycare. Never going to have to, right? You was out when I was kind of giving a spiel of like how I grew up and I've only taught like prior to my job, I've always taught at like daycares inside like the after school program, and I grew up in a daycare. My mother had a house daycare, home daycare, and the reality is that like this is my perspective. If you can, I think that the first year or two is going to be important, to where if you can be able to stay at home. I think that that's great. I think that say Isla, by year 3, I want her to go to daycare. But it's not specifically because of like any of these extraneous reasons. That like there's the social intelligence part to it that is really, really, really big for kids. And being able to be around kids. And I also think that, and I've seen there is a difference between a structured curriculum for kids in which like I've been a part of. They come and there's people that actually even make sure that you have a lesson plan and shit like that, in which like the kids are getting some like fruit to where like it's in simple shit at that age. But funny thing about simple shit is this really hard to teach to people that don't know shit. And like I think that is important. Where there's kids, for example, QJ, blessed. He was blessed with his aunt, just wanted to be a teacher. So she took the time, and QJ, I got at 3 years old, he's reading. I can show you the videos that he's reading at 3 years old. And because of that, like he's been academically gifted his entire life. And like what they tell you is that the earlier you can learn these things is the better success that you're going to have. And like right now, like shout out to my son, straight A's in high school right now. He had a B his first semester. Everything else was A's, and right now he's at straight A's. Again, he's always tested inside the academically gifted space, and I put that to strictly my sister. The fact that at 3 and 4, she taught him how to read, she taught him the shape, she taught him the letters XYZ. I think that the best, like where you know it's going to happen at, is going to be like inside a structured environment. Make sure they're at a good daycare. Plus the social space to it. If you have a woman, and again, fantasy land world, if she can do those things, do it. But my thing is that like there's a huge space where the kid, if you want to set them up for success, they should do that.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say on that is that like I believe that prioritizing. See, the difference is that like the idea of functioning within what the societal norms have become and making that to be the answer versus understanding that the answer is something else. The actual answer is something else, even though your reality is going to be whatever it, pans out to be. So it's like the idea of saying like, I want to get straight A's, right? And then the idea of saying like, I put in all of the work to get straight A's, but I wasn't able to get it. You know what I mean? It's still like the idea that this is still the best case outcome, the best outcome that you could achieve. And it's not that it's impossible to achieve. It's just that maybe you aren't able to. You know what I mean? Okay. And just, so like it's the idea of saying like this is the right answer, but the right answer is just what socially has been the norm. The right answer is usually not the norm. The right answer is something that's above the norm, but we start to bring the ceiling down to make ourselves feel better about what we have to deal with. Does that make sense?
Maybe I kind of see what he's saying. No, I understand what you're saying. I don't know if I agree with it. I think that the social norm usually be the fucked up shit, and it's low hanging fruit that's easy to achieve, and people gravitate to that more often. Like the right answer usually is hard work, and most people don't do hard work. Most niggas want to be rappers, athletes, and shit like that. The shit that's like trap stars, the shit that's really, really easy. I think that the right answer, like there's specific things that we know if you do these things, you're going to be good. Hey, if you make sure that your grades are good, you study like 3 hours a week. All right, my bad. This is the easier way to prove this point. With immigrants aren't smarter than Americans. Immigrants aren't smarter than black people. But they have a culture that say you're going to study for 2 hours after you get out of school. You're going to, like Asians, Nigerians outperform everybody. Mm-hmm. So you can't even put it to a race thing. Right. It's all right. You have a culture in which you have to do these specific things, and then you have expectations in which, like, I expect the fact that you're going to be a lawyer, a doctor, XYZ. Like, being those things aren't hard. It's tedious. Those are the right answers. Like, we know if you are an engineer, you're going to make good money and be smart and be able to set up your family and put them inside the best schools, XYZ. Those are the actual right answers. You just got to
get to that point.
Most of the answers we be going for is that shit that's really easy and satiable. That's my opinion.
All right. That was a nice dissertation, Quinta. I was just messing.
Oh no,
we
2 hours in.
We got any comments?
Yeah, he did. Unc said, I believe that daycare is not needed if the two of them are willing to sacrifice time and enjoyment, or spending plus harder working.
Maybe. Listen, I know it's a bunch of parents that need to send their kids to daycare.
This is just opinion, so it's not like there's nobody is like the answer is, you know what I mean? It's up to interpretation.
Well, so, it's whatever works best for you in your situation.
Right.
People need to really not look at the internet for people who going through things totally different than them and use their answers to apply to their situation.
To me, I think
you got to look at your situation.
So I think that there are answers, and I think that, like, how can you get there? So if you can do the things that are needed, then cool. If you can't, get help and get that shit done. The answer is the kid should be educated before they get to school.
Right.
2, 3, and 4, 5 are really important developmental years in which, again, psychology graduate. These are the years in which, like, what you receive right here at this moment are going to set you up for the rest of life, even when it comes down to learning patterns and the ability to learn. These are the most important. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, get somebody. That's my only point.
Yeah, I was seeing it like
even if you can afford not to, you probably want to.
Well, to me, it's the thing. Like we was talking earlier with like the preacher and like cancel, not cancel. To me, it's always the thing. The thing is the word. As long as the message inside that scenario, but in here it's get educated. Make sure that kid is educated at 2, 3, 4. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, get somebody. Simple as that.
Yeah, see, and then, but let's also not forget about how many upwards $100,000-$200,000 people don't have an education. I know the guy who owns the company that I work for now. He's 38 years old, multi-millionaire, and nothing he does requires.
He's educated in something.
But hold on, look, what he's educated in is doing the task. It's skilled labor. It's not like education.
So he's not a smart man.
He's not like an articulate. No, he's not. His vocabulary and all this.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Is he?
What I'm talking about
those are like
he's
almost Eurocentric ways of judging.
His intellect is based in the trade. He knows how to do the job that he has us doing because he did the job for years. Then he built his business off of him starting there, and he was able to build himself into now having 8-9 trucks and having guys, but it didn't come from like the normal basis of what would, even though you may be talking about education in a different way. I'm talking about the way.
No, but like
saying,
what you're speaking about is like really basic. Like he sounds like a really educated man, in my opinion.
I ain't saying shit educated about him.
All right, so like, and this is when like,
where did you get really educated from?
So when Tone spoke about,
he said smart.
Yeah, and that's why.
He just said smart. I thought he said a really educated man.
But all right, so when Tone earlier when we spoke and I asked the question and y'all like, I asked the question because of like I wanted him to clarify, was that what do you mean by educated? Because when I say educated is not specifically book smart. I don't look at people that are book smart as educated. That's not what educated means. It sounds like he is almost probably a genius in his craft and his job, and he's really, really smart inside that space. I also would imagine that if he's in business and he's successful and he's completing profit margins consistently, he's well versed and knowledgeable inside that space. I guarantee you he's not a dummy because he had been taken advantage of over and over and over. Like it's not like how we judge, quote unquote, like the Queen's language, where like a lot of these Eurocentric ways of like, are you articulate? Do you say these big words? Are you all these other things? That's not what educated is, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It's like, are you really good at a task, a trade, at a profession? And can you translate that into you making a bunch of money or gathering resources? Maybe that's the better way to put it, gathering resources. Okay. And it sounds like he's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So Q, you got any memes?
Yeah.
Let's go over a couple.
Yeah. All right. So I got two quick ones, real quick. Hey, I'm about to shoot at you. Hey, go to the. I'm gonna see the rail too. Yeah.
No, you ain't talking about me.
Go to that middle one. That middle one right there. They talk about 250.
My back straight.
Talking about right here.
It say 250 on it.
250.
It's right there in the middle. Tone.
Cigarettes.
Oh yeah, he's.
I was trying not to like drop the big hammer, but
my bad.
But yeah, so yeah, I hope that cigarettes go up to $250 in 2024. I'm tired of y'all. I look to my left.
Hey, at the end of the day, that would be a great thing because I would absolutely not be fucking with it.
So
that would be the end.
Again,
you ain't got to go that far.
Oh, cool.
$20 a pack.
You tapping out at
20. Hey, I'm
don't move up to New York.
20.
All right, so this would be my quick little spiel on that. And honestly, if you've been around me for at least like the past like year, I've kind of like been pushing, and I hope all my niggas get off nicotine, XYZ. I push at least like right now for most of my niggas and people. Oh, this go to my brother too. My brother, my mother, my uncle, and Braille. Y'all are probably like the closest 4 cigarette smokers that I know, in which I'm pushing in general for like at least make first the transition to vaping and then hopefully get off. Like as I was researching it, because I'm a research person, in which it seems like that has been like the easiest way that people current day has gotten. One, you go off the cigarettes, then you like get to vaping, and then from vaping, hopefully it's easier for you to get off of it. But in general, my push is that all of the people that's around me get off of smoking. In general, like it's a health risk. I want all my niggas to live like really healthy, strong lives. I want my mother to live and see Isla grow up to be as old as she needs to be. My uncle, again, my brother, I love both of them, and I want them to live as, again, long, prosperous, healthy lives as possible. Again, there's certain addictions that it's easy to do day by day, and it's easy to say like I'm gonna like knock it off. And I know this is a hard one, but 2024, I'm gonna make sure that I try and be like the accountability partner for like all the people that's around me, at least inside this space, because of I think that it's going to be beneficial for everybody around me.
That liquor too. Let that go.
Maybe.
I think
that those are different like versions.
I knew that was gonna change it up.
Hey, that'll do it every time. It's easy to point at somebody else's vice, but then when niggas start knocking on yours, it becomes a little bit different.
But
I'm not
really
talking about you.
Oh no, I'm about to say like so for me, like really, really specific. Like I can get into that space where again I'm research man, where I know that when we was having like addiction conversations earlier, the main thing that I did look into was like, all right, so what do I consume heavily? And it's alcohol. And what I looked up is that like what is over a long period of time, what is healthy and unhealthy. And what they kind of come down to is that per one per sitting and then per week. And with alcohol, I think that it's in general 5 shots, and that's inside like a setting is what they call like healthy enough. If you go past that, you're binge drinking, and that's unhealthy. So for me, what I did cut back on is the fact that I only drink on Sundays, maybe Saturday I'm gonna drink. I don't drink at all outside that. Like I'm really, really intentional about that because of when Young Citizen came here, I had to do the reflection and be like, is this an addiction? If so, do the research and make sure that you can overcome this. And then like if you are going to indulge in a vice, do it inside the best way possible to where like you can have a long, healthy standing relationship. Or like health. And the reality is that if we want to get into it, if we talk alcohol, what alcoholism does relate directly to. And again, like, hey, all my niggas get off of drinking heavily. Like, let me say that also. So it doesn't sound like dementia. Like there is a correlation between dementia and alcoholism. And so like if you're over drinking also, stop it. Find ways. And again, like I haven't did the research to how to segue, and like maybe next year I'll make that my resolution. But in general, yeah, like I said, like I'm gonna do it one at a time. And I think that's one that I'm gonna lean into from the people around me.
Oh yeah, Unc said cigarettes are more addictive than heroin is.
Mhm.
That is why it may sound funny, but I would get on my sons harder for smoking a cigarette than I would smoking weed.
Mm-hmm. I think most people will.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd agree.
Mm-hmm.
So do you got one? You gonna do another one? I just want to we can transition to the questions.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm listen. I got to get a couple of them off. Go down real quick. I got another laugh. Well, this isn't another. This is my first laugh. Do you see right beside Dr. Umar to the left? Before you click it, let me know. It's Buddy inside the green shirt. You see
Yeah,
it?
I got it.
I just want to shout out Johnny. This is Johnny when he does finally date that 6'3" lady that he been running from. Go ahead and click.
Last time I saw her, she was with my. So the question is, what would Pluto do?
Hey, that's my
live
view of Johnny right here.
So I did it. What would Pluto do?
I feel like Johnny go find a song, girl.
Wiggling back.
That's what I'm saying. Johnny said that he 6'3". You see this height difference right here, Johnny? Think about how tall you can.
Hey, shout out to that kid, man. That man living his best life. That man living his best life.
Hey, Johnny, my question is, what if she got a good stiff jab? That's all she need.
Oh, what you mean? I do right. You know, she ain't gonna need to hit me.
Oh, it's plenty of niggas that done right that had to wear.
My niggas bro going to domestic violence.
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, I was looking at her. And I was looking at them. If she wanted to put paw, she could keep him off of it. Like that jab. If her jab stiff, ain't nothing he gonna be able to do about it.
Just be a good upstanding man. Johnny said he don't apologize no more because he ain't going wrong.
But what if she just get hot though?
I did not say that.
Oh, you don't say
what if she just get hot?
Start flipping over tables in the house.
Hey,
and shit.
What you gonna do?
Punching walls.
All right, so I think that I'm gonna go to go ahead.
Uncle say Q. That's your Aunt Connie and Uncle Pooh. I don't know who they are.
Oh yeah. Probably. So go to the one that says she said it's men's fault. I thought this is the issue. Wait, before you click it, shout out to Jeff. Jeff actually sent this into a group chat, and I said, this would be good. This would be good fodder. You already passed it.
Okay,
it's right above TMZ.
Yeah, let me know when.
Yeah.
So at some point you got to take some accountability. Like, hey, I didn't even get a chance to really know this chick before I went in her raw. I nutted in her. We was in love because the sex was good. But now I don't really like this bitch, and she don't like me either. But now we got a kid. You know what I'm saying? So
I got it. We have sex, right? Okay. We get to it. First night, bam. Shoot the club up, raw, right? You're pregnant. Mm-hmm. You call me a month and a half later because we haven't talked since then.
Right.
Who's the fool for having a baby?
I can't get into that.
We can get into it.
So I'm not gonna say, you know, it's her fault or not, because some people have different integrity, you know, whatever they got. And they,
so you mean to tell me that you have so your integrity? Hold on, I'm saying you saying that this woman's integrity would not allow her to not have the baby. But her, but her integrity, but her integrity is gonna allow her to get some raw dick on the first night. I say bullshit. These hoes want to be goddamn holy and sanctified when it comes time down for these goddamn kids to be born. But you want to take some raw dick and you want to let the nigga shoot the club up on the first night and have a goddamn baby with a complete stranger. And now you saying, oh, that goes against my goddamn religious belief. Obviously, motherfucking raw dick on the first night shouldn't go against your religious belief. You mean to tell me that you can have hot sex in the back of a goddamn car with a complete stranger? You don't even know this nigga real name. You just call that nigga Ray Ray. And you mean to tell me you're gonna have Ray Ray's baby? You don't know his family. You don't know what kind of medical situations he got, what kind of psychological demons he got, and you gonna have a baby and we carry it 9 months for a nigga you don't know? That's bullshit, and that's your fault if you got a toxic situation because you chose to have the fucking baby.
She licking out of tongue. He making so they can't say that once he go in. Once he start going, you ain't gonna be able to talk over me, bro.
And it seemed like but all right. So I thought that clip and that conversation is really, really interesting because of the reality is that I think that it's literally split down the middle and it's equal. I look at you just as, like, if you are a guy and you are shooting the club up on the first night with a woman that you don't know from adamant, like you deserve anything that comes with that. And it's the same for the woman. But like the gender war thing be like, let's blame each other. Mm-hmm. I think both of y'all are fucking fools. And like he said all this shit real good with like horns. But to me, like both of y'all niggas are dumb as shit. Like if you don't also see that nigga as a fool, that you're gonna put your life and your income in the hands of a woman and how she feels, is crazy, in my opinion. So a woman that you specifically haven't vetted, that you don't know if like she's crazy, if like she's vindictive, if she's any of these things, you're talking one night, that's crazy. Same difference for the woman, again. But I think that it to me, I don't see how it's not like easily seen as like an equal shared responsibility of dumb shit.
It's two stupid people.
Yeah.
Nah, and the thing is that what we and this is what back when Kevin Samuels was talking about is like the idea of like I made mistakes. You know what I'm talking about? Like the idea of it was a mistake. I was young and da 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 da. I mean, you can run with that. You still a dumbass youngin that's gonna have to live with this consequence. So I'll say I agree with you. I agree with you that it is both just two dumb people. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I think that the woman has more to lose in the scenario.
Don't think so.
I think that at the end of the day, what the man loses is probably going to be he's going to have a financial contribution that he doesn't want to give. At the end of the day,
where's the loss for the woman?
The loss for the woman is that she has to. She's gonna, and this is worst case scenario because I'm an advocate for keep family together. Worst case scenario, she ends up having to raise this crazy ass little youngin. Because this nigga could just be shell, all kind of mental health shit. She has to raise this baby and actually deal with this little nigga every day, deal with all of these decisions that he'll make along the way. Mm-hmm. Like that's just much more. I think that like when it comes down to the splitting of the family, the man that only pays child support has the easier job. So that's why I'm saying that it's going to be worse for her because he's just making a financial contribution, and then that contribution is based on how much he actually makes as well. So you know what I mean? If he chooses to opt out of the situation, which we see fuck niggas do all the time, I'm not leaving niggas out the scenario. What I'm saying is that she's gonna have to wear this shit much more heavily. It's gonna be harder on her life than it is on him. He could mess around and find another woman down. It's gonna be harder for her to get a man to come and step in and then try to be a man of the house and all of this. I think that it's harder for the woman than it is the man as the time goes along.
I think exponentially that is incorrect. Where in general, like if we're just looking at it, women with 1 to 2 kids don't really have problems finding another guy. Like niggas might call them simps, X, Y, and Z. That's not really the struggle of women. With men, if we're looking at this scenario, any like the child support scenario, especially once you get past year 5, it's not even that steep. And that's why you see so many women inside low income situations that Section 8 with 5, 6, 7 kids because now you're you're subsidized by these kids and their child support or the funding that government gives them. like it's really easy after you get to a certain point. Reality. Like I know too many people inside
money
this scenario.
wise, but he wasn't talking about money.
Oh no, not but right. Like after you get past, I mean, no, my bad. Even as early as you want, because you have daycare vouchers as well. Like I know too many ain't shit women that go through this route where, like, yes, raising the kid, quote unquote, is the hardest job. Most of these motherfuckers ain't even raising them like that.
That's true.
And the reality is that a nigga can go to jail off that shit. You can't get your passport off that shit. You your income's gonna be garnished to where you ain't making shit. So now let's start thinking about like what woman's gonna want a nigga that ain't making shit. Like it's tough for a nigga that's like
your children to play against you.
Niggas be in hell off of it. Usually the baby mama be doing all right, and she got another nigga that come simp off her, pay her fucking bills and all that shit. Niggas be taking the L.
I mean, I agree with you on that. On the back end, you know what I've been able to see? I've been able to see the back end of the scenario where they have all of these kids, and then because it still cuts off. That benefit cuts off when 18. Which I know with child support they extended it to 21 if the kid goes to college. But
that's rough.
But anyways,
you think you better get off the hook and it.
But what you will see, no bullshit.
Hit the refurbing button.
What you'll see is that like a lot of the times those women that had that scenario all that time, they're in their mid to late 50s and they're homeless.
I don't know that.
I've seen it, like literally seen it. Like why the environment that I tend to be in.
Yeah, all the ones that I've seen,
they usually
they be figuring it out.
Child be paying bills.
He talking about
that child arguing with that man
but he's talking about a little bit later on down the line.
I'm talking about
like 40, 50. Like,
I'm talking about 50, 55.
You probably talking about people all closer to our age.
I'm talking
I guess I'm talking about like 45 to 55. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about once the kids are out of the house and all of that. Yeah, these kids can pitch in and help, but there's not a child that can pay your rent. You ain't gonna have
they just come and live in that house.
What do you mean?
And then argue with the stepdad.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said they come and live in that house and argue with the stepdad.
You tell that man he ain't finna take out the trash.
That's kicking me out.
I
live here.
This my mama house.
I'm be honest. I see that way more than I see them homeless.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing that all the time. Like I
don't really see a lot of like homeless women. Like you got to be like on drugs.
Oh yeah, nah. You know where I live at. So
yeah,
I see
I'm like if you go,
I see them.
That's one of them things. You homeless as a woman, you.
L.
Yeah,
L.
That box gotta be trash.
Because again, like I said, reality is like once you get to 40, niggas don't even care if you got like five. Not I ain't gonna say five. You got 3 kids at 40. Niggas don't even care because it's almost par for the course if you.
That's when you got 4 kids and 6 different baby daddies.
That's an unmathematical problem,
bro. That shit happens.
You said 4 kids with 6 baby daddies.
It's probably somebody out there.
Nah, for real though. Buddy over here paying.
Well, not 2 of the kids don't make it. You had 6 baby daddies.
All right, we ain't talking.
I'm saying it could happen. That's all I'm saying.
No, that's some wild lifestyle shit right there.
But yeah. Hey, Tone, hit the refresh one time for me.
All right.
This nigga adding
exactly, bro. He said 2. I ain't the only one that heard 2. Did you hear 2?
I ain't never said 2.
You definitely
said 2.
Johnny had about 8.
I said I had a
bro. I had 4.
No, before that, you said I'm gonna drop 2
listen
real
again,
quick.
y'all. Listen, Johnny ran down 5. I'm gonna get 3 off,
bro. I had 4.
You had 3.
I ain't mad at you. I'm just telling you what you said.
I know. I said I had a couple. I said I had a couple quick ones for sure.
All right.
But I'm gonna end with this one. Shout out to my Dr. Umar. Click that real quick. It's the newest one.
Oh, I saw this.
The exploitation of Africans in Brazil, Mozambique, and Angola.
Nothing.
I didn't think so.
Let me ask you this.
My nigga.
Let me ask you this.
To this day.
So, let me ask you
and
this.
what is your white girlfriend doing about the exploitation of Africans in Brazil, Mozambique, and Angola?
Nothing.
I didn't think so.
Let me ask you this.
My nigga.
Let me ask you this. No.
To this day.
So, let me ask you
and
this.
what is your white girlfriend doing about the exploitation of Africans in Brazil, Mozambique, and
I just wanted to get an update with Johnny P about the Snow Bunny crisis. Shout out to Dr. Umar. He went crazy this week.
Hold on, wait a time out. Time out. We gonna nip this in the bud. Time out. Niggas at the job might be watching this. And I gotta let it be known.
It's the Snow Bunny crisis.
I
can't let a white man be the top rapper ever. That's what my nigga Dr. Umar said. Fuck Eminem. What you say, Johnny?
Oh, I thought you were talking.
Oh, no, Snow Bunny Crisis first. We're gonna reach there. But I also want to know about like Dr. Umar's top 5. But Snow Bunny Crisis, Johnny.
Ain't no Snow Bunny Crisis, not over here. Not now, because
he got plenty of them.
Nah.
It's a Snow Bunny flood, goddamn.
Flood, right?
Don't let these niggas drain your pool, bro. Don't let them drain your pool, bro.
Nah,
because you ain't gotta sit up here and do all of this for us, bro. If you know what I mean.
At the job, at the job.
There's too many of them coming.
No, I'm the nigga that's known for not liking white women.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, and then I come here on Sunday.
You a Gemini?
I come here on Sunday.
I don't
then
know
they be like, "What's up with
the
the Snow Bunny Crisis?" And then I'm gonna go back to work tomorrow, and the dude, like, he got a white girl, and like I never knew, and he showed me a picture. I was like, "Oh damn, I ain't think you would date a white girl." He was like, "What? You don't think?" And then my other boy, he like, "Yeah, Newton don't like white girls." They was like, "Yeah, don't, yeah."
Nigga Newton be out here faking.
It's sisters. It's sisters.
You know what the problem is? It's different when your niggas know you.
Yeah, you can do what you want to at the job. That ain't but 40 hours a week. That ain't but 40 hours a week.
Them
niggas know you. Nigga, Dr. Umar at the job.
I'm Umar. I be getting on them niggas. And then I come here and I'll be asking me about the Snow Bunny Crisis. I don't know.
It's all right, Johnny. Johnny said it's only snow bunnies on the weekend. Only snow bunnies during the winter. Is that better?
Nah.
Only snow bunnies when it's snow.
Nah, it's not.
Like, tell me which asterisk you want.
We done moved down south. Ain't no more snow.
Okay.
We done moved down south. It don't snow no more down here.
It's the first year we ain't get snow, I believe.
It's gonna come in February.
It ain't the
I said the first year, so that's next year.
I thought it snowed this year.
When did it snow this year?
I
ain't seen no snow this year.
I don't know. Ain't snow over here. I know that. Ain't snow over here.
Hey, Tony, before we get out of here, just give me quick Adonis over there. It's top right, and we'll get out of here. This is to all my basketball.
Okay, so when we're going to go play, we just have to work harder. We have to shoot better. We have to play better. Get your energy up. If he's taking the ball that way, but it's tricky, you just go that way and trick him. Your body has to reflex the dunks, and then the dunks have to reflex your body. Okay, so when we're going,
hey, them boys actually won though.
I was about to say, shout out to the Pistons. They finally won their first game in like 27 tries.
Hey, Adonis might have been the reason. They might have needed to hear that talk. Adonis gave them that pep speech, and they went out there and won one.
It's a pep speech for you here, Johnny. I don't say date what you want.
That's what I was trying to tell
Your
him.
boys can't give you that good, do you, Johnny?
Oh yeah.
Hey, appreciate that.
Hey, he said if you like them white girls, you date them white girls.
Hey, my nigga Dave Chappelle said it's only one reason a paraplegic is going to
gets invited to an orgy.
I ain't gonna lie, that was crazy.
No, that was crazy.
I ain't gonna...
Now Dave ain't got no sense, bro, and all the sense at the same time.
Now he reminded me of old Dave Chappelle on that one.
I ain't gonna lie.
He said rolling around, snitching on everybody.
He said if it's only one reason they gonna come, it's because of this. I say this nigga.
Wow. Sure.
Wow. All right. So I'm willing to tap out my question unless y'all want to completely rock paper scissors for all three.
Do y'all want to Because I'll tap mine out too. We can just do
the resolution, Joe.
Yeah.
Or I think I got it. It's a 2-part question the way I was thinking about it. Y'all want to just do that? The 2-part resolution question?
Yeah, let's just do that.
I think that so we can do a recap and resolution. I think that there's multiple places that it can grow legs.
Okay. I like recap and resolution.
So yeah, I'll throw it to you first.
So this is the way I think, because like honestly, in previous years, I've never liked doing resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really liked it. But also, you know what fuels me is when I see it becoming a trend. I'm like, I hate trends. So like the fact that it becomes becoming more trendy for people to be against everything. You know, everybody talking shit about New Year's resolutions now. It's like, well, now I'm gonna do a New Year's resolution because I'm definitely not the nigga that's trying to go with what everybody else think. Like y'all trying to do this and I've been doing, you know what I mean? So now at the end of the day, first question was, how do y'all in the past have you actually had a resolution, and what usually happens to a resolution? Have you seen one through, or does it generally go back and you revert back into the same person? You know what I mean? How does that usually work? So, and I'll use me for go first about it on it. So that's what actually made me stop liking them, was because I saw that like every year you can do shit but backslide. And then what am I waiting for the first? That's what started making me question. It's like, first, every year I backslide, then why the fuck am I waiting for the first to start doing it? You know what I mean? So that was what made me stop doing it. And it was like literally, it was the fact that I continuously failed at the resolution. So it was like, okay, well, I'm not even going to look at this New Year's resolution thing as a thing anymore. If I'm going to change my life, I'm just going to do it at the time I try to spit sparks in my head. And whether I fail it or not is not based in I just failed for my year of the new year. You know what I mean? It's just, I just didn't make it. So fuck the new year, John. I'll just start now. And you know what I mean? It ain't like my year just went down the toilet because I failed my New Year's resolution. So like, that's what made me kind of fall back from them. But this year, I'm using one that's more broad because I feel like the last 2 years have been more stagnant. I feel like once the last purchase I made, once I made the purchase, it was like I didn't have a goal that was the next step from there. Like that was the goal, and it was like, damn, you check that box, and then I don't know what my next goal should be. And so I've had 2 years of stagnation. And well, I won't say not complete stagnation because I feel like we're doing beautiful things here. But as far as like my individual and like my goal, I have to create an additional goal for myself. And I think that the one that I came up with for me is dodging complacency as it shows its head. So not necessarily a thing that I want to do, like quit smoking. It's like such a tangible result, but it's. And I'm not mad, but I'll quit. It won't be.
I'm only doubling down. Go ahead. Don't.
But anyway, what I was saying is that dodging complacency, and what it did for me was that like even like in the change of occupation or the change of occupations that I just recently did, I realized that I found myself more fulfilled after making that decision than I had been for many years of doing what I was doing prior to. And it was all because of, even, I always say I'm not for sale, but there's a bit of it that you end up having, almost having to be, you know what I mean? And being at that institution was draining me, and I was doing it for the money, which we all going to work for money. But then I didn't realize that like literally I've been causing myself more anguish and being the idea of being dissatisfied because of where most of my time is going, and it's so dead end. And it became like a real big thing to me to see that it's dead end. The only way that I can do this is for somebody else. The whole occupation itself, that's what makes it dead. For me, I realized what makes a dead end job is for me, and it's that you can only do it for somebody else. If it's not something that you could actually build something yourself from, and it always requires you to be working for somebody, then that's dead end. And I mean, you can make as much money as you know what I mean. But for me specifically, my idea is not to work for somebody for the rest of my life. And so that right there is like the idea of stagnation is not something that I'm not with, and I'm going to try to be more intentional in acknowledging it, and then curbing it where I can. So the first question was, how do you feel about resolutions?
Like, do I have one?
Let me go.
All right then.
Yeah, let me go. I'm
with it. You was here the whole time.
Yeah, I've been here patiently waiting.
I ain't saying nothing, bro.
I've just been here patiently waiting, but no, I like that. And like you say, in the past, I kind of feel like you. I've had issues with resolutions because but I think sometimes you get so caught up in the new year, new me, that you make goals that are short-sighted or short-term. And so the first few weeks, first couple months of the year, you'll go real hard on that thing. Real hard. But then slowly, like the first week, you'll go, say it's the gym. First week, you'll go 3 times. Second week, you go 3 times. Then usually by that 4th, 5th week, you 2 times a week. Then and it just slowly kind of fall off because it was not really necessarily the goal that you really wanted. You just wanted that action. It's something that you just, oh, I gotta have a resolution. Let me do this thing and work. And so you just feel like you have to do it, and you do the resolution almost out of a guilt trip, or it's like, oh, let me have my resolution. Let me go do this thing because I said I'm doing it, even though really like the you don't really have the conviction inside you to really go do that. You just said it because it's the new year and you felt like it. Well, I think last year I was more of a overall type of guy. I just wanted to challenge myself in new ways. I wanted to push myself, and I had just a broad goal more, and I felt like I did way better at accomplishing the pushing myself more, because there's several different ways to do it. If you make your New Year's resolution, I'm going to the gym, there's only one thing you can do to accomplish that. But if you say, I want to push myself more, I want to put myself in more uncomfortable situations, I want to be more comfortable being uncomfortable. And if you make that your goal or something like that, or I want to, I want to face my fears a little more. It helps you do your New Year's resolution in multiple ways. It's not just a one size fits all.
Can I? And I got a question building off what you just said. That I want to ask really quickly. Keep going or listen to it. Do you think that it's easier to make your goals something not tangible because it lacks accountability?
Maybe there's some of that to it, but I mean,
I don't think that lacks accountability.
But I mean,
now if you say you're going to do something, you like, and you don't do it, but if you say these like vague words, I think that it's easy to find a way in which I wiggled into like maybe I did some like I got uncomfortable a little bit with, and you can start like thinking of things. If you actually set like actual tangible goals, it's a little bit harder, in my opinion. But
I 100%, and I thought about that too, because if there's no means of measuring the thing, then how do you know? How can you say that you failed or not? So the thing about and for me, I know for a fact, and most people that know me, they know like I'm my worst critic. I dig at myself all the time. So like I ain't saying that should be for everybody, because a lot of people dodge accountability fucking all day, every day. You know what I mean? But
most people dodge accountability.
Yeah. So I can't say that could be the best means of setting it. That's just what I think works for me, because I know that I'm gonna sit there and come back and sit and continuously think about that, and you know what I mean. It's gonna dig at me. So maybe I know Johnny probably if that may be the reason why I don't know. I can't speak for you, but I know that's for me. I understand
want you
the
to
means
speak
of
for him
being
real
able to.
quick. If you could speak for him,
I can't speak
for him.
I don't know.
I wanted to know what you would say if you could speak for Johnny one time for like 1 minute. What would you say real quick?
I would say I was trying to think of the Umar joke. What is Snow Bunnies? No,
Snow
whatever.
Snow Bunnies never. Black Queens forever.
Yeah.
All right, my bad, Johnny. Go ahead and get back into your spiel.
But no, I mean that's a fair question. And I think some of it is that, but I mean I also feel like kind of what Rail said. I mean, if you wait till the new year to make a goal like that, you kind of setting yourself up for that anyway. If you're just waiting for the new year to make a change anyway. So I mean, if you're gonna make that change, you might as well make it when you think about it and not think of a change to make just because it's a new year. So to me, I think just the whole thing of resolutions, if it's not something that you were ready to do or ready to commit to before the new year,
I think humans be needing time markers, because if not, then we'll just let time keep going on. We be thinking about shit all the time. And
I'm like that. Even like when I stop, like about anything that I've done where like I might have stopped the habit. Like when I stopped smoking cigarettes, I actually plan that. Like it's like, okay, on this date or after I finish this, I'm not buying anymore.
But you didn't wait for the New Year's. What I'm saying.
Yeah. That's
true.
No,
you just stopped.
I didn't say New Year.
I think the New Year. I think the New Year is just. I think the New Year is a good marker.
It's a time marker.
It's a good time marker. Like I'm not against resolutions. Like I think the New Year is a good time marker. I know this year personally, I'm definitely making some. Like in the past, last year I probably didn't have any. It was just like kind of how you thought about it, Johnny, like an overall goal. And I don't think nothing is wrong with that. I think like if you have a overall in general, it's not necessarily just some tangible thing, but that overall in general where, okay, I'm working towards that. I think those goals are necessary in life too. So I actually agree with that. And I did achieve that goal. But this year
Can
I have
we ask what that goal was? Or is that
as far as I like overall, I just wanted to be a better person. I wanted to be more into, I know I wanted to see more areas where I could grow at and everything. And I definitely got a lot of that this year. Like it was just more so I wanted to be more in tune with who I am. And if anything this year, I'm at the end of this year feeling like I ain't shit, and not in a bad way. It's more so like, nah, bro, you got some work to do. You too lax. You've been too lax. You got stuff you need to do, and you've been letting it go and everything. So like you said, like the I say procrastination and self-sabotage has been my thing. So I'm trying to let those go in the next year, and it's things that it's little stuff that you can do where you don't even realize that you're doing it.
We in the beans.
But when I say like, man, this year I've been like very aware that okay, like I'm at this end of the year and I'm just looking at it like, man, everything me. And I'm talking about like in every area, in my spiritual areas and regular life, everything. It's like this is on me at the end of the day, and I really got some work to do, and I'm making a resolution to really work towards that.
I got a question
before you do that. Let's go. Read off the comments real quick, and then I'll let Johnny go. And then
I got a question for the group.
Well, let me say my shit. Answer to his question before you answer and ask another question.
He said, my New Year's resolution is to be the best me that I can be. Everything else sits on the sidelines, and it's being a spectator towards that goal for me. Then he said, Happy New Year's to you four young men, and Amy, whatever you guys want and need be given to you. I love you guys.
Hey, you got to read the top one too. Sidebar. That's a good one.
Why don't people just buy blanks for their guns to butt? I was gonna read that, but I was waiting till like you could answer a question.
I wish, bro.
That's a good one.
I wish, bro.
Just buy blanks for their guns.
You go waste them anyway. So
and
they
hit that. It looked like one more.
That's facts.
Hit that real
facts.
quick.
He said, how the hell did the three of y'all link up because y'all are organic together and plugging hilarious?
Oh yeah, that's a long story. This is a long story. My bad.
There you go.
Yeah.
But so all right, so me answering the question, I think that so the first question was, do I believe in New Year's resolutions? I guess I don't know specifically because I don't specifically have like say a New Year's resolution. Well, I set goals, so I guess maybe that's like the easiest way. So yes. And I do use a time marker like. Well, I'll get into that in a second. I do use time markers as like to look back and see if I accomplished shit or am I saying the same shit from last year. And then I use that as like even more fuel. And then I guess it sounded like you kind of gave a goal that you had for the next year. So I'll try and do that as well. So for me, two things I do every year during New Year's, during this little break. That break between Christmas and like the New Year, I literally planned out my budget for the year. Me and Taj literally did that this morning. In which like we talk about exactly what we're trying to hit on, like how much we're putting towards these different things.
That's a gym family. Yeah, I love that. I love that one right there. Set that budget before the New Year even roll in.
Yeah.
Set that budget during this time. You already got the holiday time off. Might as well set that budget earlier. Matter of fact,
we sit down and we just be microscopic about it. About like from food to like cards, expenses, like we kind of like really fine tooth it because like to me, like conflict happens when there's not an understanding.
Absolutely.
And to me, I always trying to seek as much understanding as possible. But what was that? All right, so yeah, so for New Year, with or without a relationship, I set a budget. I always have to do that. And I usually look at my last bank statement to be like, all right, what the fuck am I spending on? And then I like set the budget, and then we decided on shit that we need to up. There's a couple things like we had to up our relationship budget. Like we have a relationship happiness budget in which like we both put towards a certain amount. But we got a wedding coming up, so like there's certain shit with like the vacation and shit like that. We're gonna just put extra money towards that, just make sure we're good. But like whether it's food, groceries, all that shit, like we get into that. And so we did that. There's like the goals, and that's also relationship goals. So again, if I'm speaking relationship, like we sat and talked about was good, was not like, I think when you put the word bad is a tough word, but like need work on.
Not so good.
Yeah. not even you ain't got to. Yeah, you just put like need like we can improve on this. And I think that that's a good conversation to have in general. But I also have like individual goals that I set for the year. Like last year, there's a couple I didn't hit. I like a piece of like, well, there's a piece of like me not checking up on it, but like I didn't get my passport last year, even though I've paid for it already. I didn't check up on all the things that need to be done, so I got to make sure I do that. It's like, you know, different little things. Like I last year I'm saying some shit that I said the year before. This year I'm saying some shit like I need to get an LLC, a personal LLC, like just so that my goal for this year as a person is there's specific business aspects that I want to divulge into, and truthfully, me looking back at last year is like almost like a kick in the ass. It was like, all right, I got to turn it up because I know I said this last year, and I don't like repeat myself. I don't like having to like sit in complacency of things that are already said and known. And like I literally be having a board on my wall and shit like that to help me push myself towards that, because if the shit sit there too long, I know I'm being complacent. And I'm very similar to Rail, where I'm extremely hard on myself. I think a lot of people at times be like, you be doing a lot of that. I don't think I be doing shit. And I think I can always do more. And that's just the reality of what it is. And like, I see so much that I could do. And I be thinking like to me, it's hard for me to have free time because I feel like I should be filling it with something. And that's like that's an issue in the relationship for sure. But like, that's also just the way that my mind is wired and works. And, you know what I mean? Luckily, I have a woman that understands that. I think I actually answered all three things because I said my goal for the following year.
I didn't get to get to my goal. I didn't get to my goal because I got interrupted. But my goal for next year is I definitely want to purchase a house. So I'm gonna try to
I like that one.
You know, make that. I think the rates are hopefully, you know, hopefully
fourth quarter is looking like fourth.
At least a townhome. Do a townhome.
Yeah, but hopefully, you know, things work for me, and that's something I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, these prices changing now. I just seen something about it the other day. So
when interest rates is going down, I think that you might be in a good marriage where hopefully interest rates can drop, and the housing, because right now the housing is kind of like teetering it down a little bit.
There's going to be a sweet spot,
but it's dangerous because if them bitches drop really quickly, that housing gonna go like this.
You get stuck, yeah.
You gotta hope to find that sweet spot, whatever that rate to price is.
Yeah, you gotta find out what you want to pay for a mortgage. Yeah. What are you willing, and don't base it off what other niggas got. Like,
and where you want to stay.
Well, and you got to be realistic too. So I mean, you just see somebody paying XY for a house, that don't necessarily mean
they might have got like at a time
that same house for anywhere near that payment.
I wish I could have bought a house in 2015. Like what I know, like them 250 houses back then, them motherfuckers was coming with 3,000 square foot in North Carolina.
Straight.
You can't get that shit under 500,000 right now.
Yeah, that's facts. Them the niggas, listen, them the niggas that made a killing.
And again, like go ahead, but yeah, I don't want to keep on.
Oh no, that's just.
I'm getting like I can talk.
I'm just putting that, and I did have another question for the group. Kind of build on where we're currently at, and I know we kind of pushing it time wise, but my question is, what's something from this year that you might have started or that came about this year that you want to make sure that you continue into 2024?
Well, I again, my answer would just be business idea for sure. Like, so damn, I forget who, maybe it was Rich when we was here. Like, there is a theory that I live by that sometime I succumb to, where I know that I have a good enough idea, but the moment you speak it, I do believe that it gets put into the universe and somebody else will capitalize on it if you don't. And for me, I know the space, I know the everything around it. And truthfully, for like the past 2-3 years, I've been sitting on like execution. And with that, I know that like eventually, like you're gonna time yourself out and you're gonna be fucked. So go ahead and do the thing. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure I like execute this year. And again, like last year, I had scenarios happen in which like it's setbacks. Not even like necessarily like there's emotional setbacks that you have and things like that. Not this past year. I had only positive things. I had proposal, wedding coming up. Had a baby girl, XYZ. I don't really have any complaints about last year. But the year before that, like there was like things that happened. It was like damn, unexpected, but you got to kind of like breathe in that. You know what I mean? But this coming year for sure, I want to execute on the things that I say, and it's a reason explicitly that I'm saying it on a podcast because it gives a time marker that I have to achieve things said.
So for me, that was one. Let me just. I'm gonna answer your question, but I have one more goal for next year. Next year, I'm gonna be much more getting Nana into these what do you call them? I wanted to get her in some piano classes, and I'm also
that's really good for the mind.
Yeah. So the piano class, Joan, and getting her into some kind of like defense class, like self-defense, something that she can learn a little self-defense, but it also give that energy, get a lot of that energy off because you know what I mean. She has a lot of that.
Well, they talk about kids in aggressive play.
Yeah, exactly.
And
trying to get her some of that, rough and tumble play, as Jordan Peterson likes to say.
Yeah.
But what the things that I didn't do last year or this year for now was, man, I had some renovation ideas, and y'all probably heard them around throughout the year. I was talking about getting certain things done. A lot of that shit I started, and the house still looks like it did when I started it. It ain't, you know what I mean? It ain't been ironed out, you know what I mean? So I want to get those things done because man, you should see how you doing, sir? Got the OG himself just pulled up. The OG himself. But yeah, so yeah, the renovations, man, I ain't do. It's like I started like 5 or 6 different things, and all of them still look like the first day. You know what I mean, or the first 2 days of starting them. And so I really want to get that accomplished as well this year. Get those things knocked out.
Johnny, you up?
So I meant something positive that you wanted to bring in.
Well, he gave a goal about like his daughter.
Okay, all right. Well,
he's talking about something that he didn't. You said something that you didn't. Well, he also just said that wasn't negative. Shut up, Johnny.
Well, he said he didn't do it.
But he said that he wants to finish this.
Okay, all right. Okay, okay.
That is kind of like exactly what you asked.
That's exactly what he asked.
Okay, I'll take that. It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was what I got. So
sounds like you need to articulate your
expectations a little bit.
Exactly.
Or lower his expectations.
Lower. I might need to do that.
Like, what did you want him to give? Like,
I don't know.
You answer your own question, and then we'll see.
Yeah. Okay. Here, like, well, for me,
couple snow bunnies this year.
Not too many.
Try to pop up 2 or 3 up.
Okay.
In the first 90 days.
Nah. Well, nah. We ain't doing that. All sisters 2024. That's the goal.
Oh.
Nah,
that means 2023 you failed.
Yeah, you know you failed.
That's all right.
Nah, one thing like I did have from last year that I tried a little bit, and as the year went on, I found myself doing it more. But it's just speaking my mind and not being afraid, and just kind of breaking out of I don't know if it's introvertedness or shyness or just kind of lowering myself around certain people. And I've kind of stopped doing that, and I've seen like how much better it feels.
I think that's big.
And so even and like a lot of coming here doing this helped, but even with my family being able to, I don't really, that don't feel right, and saying it at my job, just stepping into training roles, the different roles at my job, and not being, well, no, I might not be ready for that, or but just running at it, running through that brick wall head on. And even if you don't always accomplish what you want to do, I found it's so much better chasing it head on than sitting on the sideline. And so that's something from this year that I've learned that I'm gonna try to replicate into 2024 and try to just build on and see where it takes me even further. And so that's just that's what I got. And like I say, it's kind of started here, So I want to appreciate, thank the fellas for kind of, planting that seed in me. I was coming back. I had to do my hand animation. I couldn't give a pound and give my hand animation. But the podcast really helped me with that.
Yeah.
And I've seen dividends in other aspects of my life. So I just want to take more of the lessons I've learned here and implement them in my real life and see what other fruits,
that it
can bear from that.
That's cool.
So that's my 2023 to 2024. What I want to, not just everything I'm leaving in 23, but something I actually found in 23 that I want to take with me.
Kind of bring into
that's
Tone.
what you was meaning. Something that you found in 23 that you want to take on.
Right,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so ironically enough, something I found in 23, I would like to talk about. Like last week we was having our discussion, like when we had our discussion, like about Christianity versus Islam.
Fire. I think I also, just a small little thing, I also think that we probably have the best religious conversations on the internet.
Easily.
I think it might be because we attack it from so many different angles. And it's like literally nobody in here has a similar belief system. And so like it's an easy space to voice that. And I mean, like, honestly, like by the end of the conversation, I think that last week you kind of even seen where we was at.
Yeah.
Where like I think inside a good tribe, you have so many voices and understanding like there's not like an implicit spot where like somebody's looking to like, especially the tribe that we have right here, where nobody's like looking to like say, hey, you're dumb and your belief system is crazy. It's just everybody has inquisitive questions that we're all asking to find like whatever we believe like our belief system can grow into. But Tone.
Oh yeah, so even like last week was a good example of what I'm about to talk about. But we had a few conversations this year throughout, like as far as religious conversations that led to some changes within me. And what it really ultimately led to, which I think is a beautiful thing, even though y'all don't believe in the same thing I necessarily believe in, you actually helped me in my belief system to realize that if I want others to follow this, I have to live a life like that's going to be something that's more of a what you do is what's going to influence me more than what you say. And that's one of those things.
Am I a product of the teachings that I believe?
Exactly. And that's one of those things where it's like I'm so focused on that now because it's like it's so many things that I've let myself get away with or rationalized, like rationalizing sin, stuff that I know is wrong, and we typically, like, people always do this. We typically do this in regular life. Even if you don't believe, we rationalize stuff that we know is wrong to do.
Absolutely.
For sure.
So I'm really big on that this year, not rationalizing stuff that I know is wrong, changing that stuff really within me. It's like it's a deeper thing than just a resolution because it's an ongoing thing. It's some stuff that I like. Man, when I say like I just realized this year, it's stuff I was just awoken to that I didn't even realize I was wrong in, including like last week, for example, when we was having our conversation. After the conversation, even though it went the way it went, and it turned out good. Of course, throughout the week, I had to reflect on what it was that I was saying during the conversation and stuff like that. So part of what I realized in that conversation was like there was better opportunity where if I would have presented it like this, there could have been opportunity for this to grow, or even like where if I was more educated in this, because there was something where like if I was more educated in this and I had actually lived this a little bit more, maybe I could have answered that question better. So yeah, that's
and I to me that was my I said it then, but this is something that I think that especially when we look at Christians in comparison to like Muslims, and if I was to give a critique that I think that Christians could just do better is that, like, if you believe that your way is the way and you have answer the questions with answers and not with like resentment or with like any level of like I think that truthfully, just in general, the inquisitive mind seeks answers, not condemnation. And the more that you can give answers, and that's where, like, I gave this example last week, where that is where, like, if you want to say like Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam inside America did really well, and why it was really easy for them to recruit is because of whether you agreed or disagreed with like their answers, they gave answers, and they sat on like what they call the soapbox, and they preached inside, whether you Harlem XYZ. where they're giving answers. You can go like if you think about, well, I guess not think about, but like if you go to like say the 90s inside New York, New Jersey, the Israelites was out there talking. And like all they want to do is having conversation. Down south is not as crazy when it comes down to Israelites. Like you see them inside like the homecomings and shit like that.
They be on college campuses.
Yeah, more than anything. But like it's always like a presentation of our ideas. What do you think? And I'm going to give you answers to bring you in. And I think that to shy away from that, especially if you're going the condemnation route, ends up being like the hardest road of resistance. In which last week I kind of talked about with Christianity, the luxury of being in America with Christianity is that it's always been the dominant religion. And so with the dominant religion, you can kind of have that space, but it only becomes like it becomes easy for like say the outsider to kind of eat away at that. And right now, Christianity does have the space right now where you got to make the decision because of like the information age. The other religions all have put it into a place where there's a lot of questions that didn't happen inside 1950, and you have to answer those questions. And
well, I like to, because we're not going. This is a whole nother spiritual / religious conversation, and we were supposed to be winding down. And
that's what we was doing. And we gotta let Tone finish too. I don't know if he was.
Let's let go. Let's
oh my bad.
What I was going to say is that instead of that questionnaire, and I definitely agree with what you were saying. I was going to try to take it away from there and put it into more general. I think that would be beneficial for us as a society in its entirety.
Yeah.
To start to have those tougher conversations. Go ahead and have the tougher conversations and do your best. And we have to also be understanding that this is something new for the majority of the population. Speaking the way that we feel, and you know what I mean, answering the tough questions. And then especially we talk about men. I had that question, why you think it's hard for men to answer the tough questions. It's something that we have to give ourselves grace on. And but I definitely believe that we need to 2024 will be beautiful if us as a society begin to try to listen more to the answer, ask better questions, and be open to receiving the answer from the place in which it comes and trying to understand, I guess, the person that the message is coming from a little bit more. And that's why I want to leave. That's why I was going to try to take it.
Tone?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have too much else to say as far as where I was at. I just think like, if anything, that's where I'm focused at, in loving people better, actually being a better believer in my faith. And being a better believer in my own life, because I've self-sabotaged myself plenty of times where like I believe in the Bible. So it's, you know, like I've been reading a lot more this year. That's something I actually did get a lot better with that I'm going to keep doing. But there's a lot of stuff I be doing wrong that I didn't realize was wrong until I'm sitting here reading. And then I think about it. I'm like, oh, I see how this sin led to the effects that it had in my life.
Yeah, I dig it. And I guess, I will. I guess a good recap for the to kind of end it off with would be like speaking about, and maybe some of y'all did, like how the podcast or like the conversations amongst friends in general has impacted you within this past year. Because I know for me, this past year, like these conversations have definitely been a place of growth. When it comes down to like, and I mean, if we go 2 years, especially like the onset of the podcast, when it comes down to a lot of understanding, unpacking exactly how I feel, being able to stand on points in which I'm feeling, and then also like even this season, expressing past just specific, not specific, like the general of like whether it's religion and a lot of like different ideologies within that. I think that's it's uncomfortable, but when you do also speak through it, it is a space of liberation as well, because like you kind of got something off your chest, and not necessarily like saying, well, it's like tropes of like got it off your chest, but like in general, literally,
you feel better.
Better.
You can feel that weight.
Yeah. So I think that's a good space to kind of like end it off on. I'll toss to y'all.
Yeah, I ain't got too much. I want to tell everybody Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all for tapping in with us, following us, supporting us for this last year. The people that showed us a bunch of love, man. So
not last year, this past year.
I don't even know the difference.
Oh, this past year, because it's not 2024 yet. I see what he's saying. This past year. I was talking in the future. But this past year, we appreciate y'all.
Y'all different.
Yeah, I don't know why he would do that. But if you still watching, if you still messing with us, please hit the like button, hit the notification button. We got a big year coming up, 2024. We in season 4. Still got a lot more guests to come. So y'all stay tuned. Check us out follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads to get all the new and latest information from us. It's the To Be Fair Show. I'm your host, Johnny P.
Oh, here, real.
It's Q.
And we out.
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year.